Y'all used to hate on all of my moves, but now niggas on it. Y'all used to debate me on me and my views, but now niggas on it. I used to tell them I'ma have me a show, but now niggas on it. Her homies on it. Your homies on it. Y'all used to hate on all of my moves, but now niggas on it. Y'all used to debate me on me and my views, but now niggas on it. I used to tell them I'ma have me a show, but now niggas on it. Her homies on it. Your homies on it. Realest podcast.
What up, what up? We are back. The realest podcast ever. I'm your host, C. Diddy.
I'm barely here. Y'all know who I am, though.
Still reeling off of what
I don't need no introduction in this bitch.
You know me. I don't need no introduction in this.
Ride Bentleys around the city on buttons, you bitch. Arm hanging, wrist blinging, just stunting and shit.
Drop the top, block is hot, stay bumping, you bitch.
Be actress, get it right, don't tangle and twist it. Hit the club every night, drunk, drinking at Chrissy.
Nigga mad don't like me because I'm banging his bitches. While the ice hit the light, just
twinkle and glisten.
Birdman got to go in the Rap Hall of Fame just for that verse. Just for the opening verse from
Remember the joke you was like, yo, nigga draw Stunner in the verses and get smoked.
Get smoked on some dumb shit.
Stunner got so many of them.
Stunner dropped 14 top 10s on your dumb ass. You be like, wait a minute.
You know who right up there with the because the other day, remember you walked in the crib and I was singing No Stylist with French and Drake.
Yeah.
And French got an Essentials joint on the thing the other day, and I'm like, yo, French Montana is in the same boat that Birdman in. French Montana is not the best verse on anything, but he on every hot song for like the last 20 years, and it's like, you draw French in the verses, get your dumb ass smoked.
Like, how did I lose 41 to nothing in a 20 song verses?
Damn, French is on State Stevens. Damn, French is on Pop Bottles. I mean, Pop That. Like, that nigga's on everything, yo. Straight up. Birdman, he on every hot song from that 02 to 09, 2000. The Birdman on that.
Bling Bling is coming out.
Dog.
Whoa Whoa Kemosabe is coming out.
Dog.
What else from that early Cash Money run? Stay Fly is coming out.
Nigga.
This is all before Wayne's Renaissance.
Start with Straight Shots and then Pop Bottles. That's coming out.
$100 million.
Stunting like my daddy.
We taking over.
Nigga.
Birdman is what we taking over.
Hey, ladies, do you get a witness? Birdman said the Birdberry, it's the Bird Lady, baby, and she Birdberry. Birdberry get you laid the fuck out in the verses. Straight up.
Yeah, don't fuck with Birdman.
Nah, man, leave Beatrice where he be.
Speaking of Birdman, I saw something the other day that interested me. There was a clip on Instagram. You're not on Instagram. Of Master P just talking, and he was, doing his Master P shit. Teeth about to fall out his mouth, but that's a whole nother story.
You seen the joint where the bull was imitating him and the teeth kept falling.
So what you got to understand is, oh, shit.
Yo, what he say? He said, we got the No Limit Pickles. That nigga was fucking hilarious.
But he was saying how he had just talked to Birdman or whatever, and the interviewer was like, whoa, like that's like a bombshell. Like, you talk, he's like, yeah, I talk to Birdman all the time, and it's just like, these two goofy ass niggas got us thinking they hate each other. They've been friends the whole damn time. Then Fiend from No Limit, he got a bunch of like fire ass interviews. Fiend got a bunch of fire ass interviews online right now. One with the Rare Report. That's like 92 parts on some Vlad shit. And then another one that I saw. And he was saying that it always was mutual respect between them two. This is literally right after the P clip dropped. He's like, there's always been mutual respect between them two. They was always cool. But, to the public, it just looked like a certain way. He was like, but I'll take it a step further. This year at the BET Awards, they were supposed to give each other like some icon award or whatever the hell. And it just was like a scheduling thing, but I'm guessing they probably gonna try to pull it off for the BET Hip Hop Awards in October.
Oh, okay.
Which would be dope as hell. We've literally never seen them stand together and do anything over the 30 years that we know.
I ain't seen Fiend in a while.
Yeah, Fiend is down with Currency, part of Jet Life now. Fiend writes a lot of big records that people don't necessarily know about. As his other stage name is International Jones. And he does all his writing, producing, and arranging and all of that under that. He's been writing the records for the last, 15 years.
Fiend says, stopping this right, exorcism, busting out the expedition, bullet chopping, hate his business to about the size of prison. I mentioned the worst is very no living mercenary. That was my shit. That was a good time, man.
P had a hell of a roster, man.
Oh, yeah. They was
as
rolling.
Much as the No Limit machine was a machine, he had real deal spitters over there, like real super rappers.
Fiend could rap, Mystical could rap.
C Murder, obviously, Corey Miller, Mac could super duper rap. Soulja Slim was a whole nother level. Like, he had real deal. And then, you know, I'm sprinkles 14 acts of bullshit in there. There's my cousins and them that just came up from the bayou. You know what I'm saying? They gonna jump on a little 14 song. But for the most part, like, the top of the No Limit roster, Mia X was excellent. Like, he had good ass artists, man.
Yeah. You know you didn't start the show about the live show. That's
yeah. Saturday, August 26th, Sunday, August 27th, we have the first ever TRPE weekend. Trying to do something big for the city, trying to do something big for our audience. So if you are a part of the audience, you can hear this, you can see this on YouTube right now. Make sure y'all go to officialtrpe.com. We done foolproof this, dummy-proof this, the whole nine. Go to the website, click the events tab. All of the tickets right there on the drop-down menu. You'll be able to see them clearly. Click the individual ticket link that you're trying to get to for the corresponding event. Really, buy all 3 tickets while you're there. You know what I'm saying? So we got a live show Saturday, August 26th, with none other than Don't Call Me White Girl herself, Mona Love. We gonna clap it up for that. We also have, immediately after that, TRPE Network signing party. Right now, it's at reserve. Might be getting moved. I don't know. But if it get moved around the corner, I'll let y'all in on that once we get that done. And we potentially have a very big announcement as far as like who's going to be hosting, performing, appearing at our network signing party. Boom. Sunday, what I think has basically become the most interesting event of the weekend, the TRPE Nation Brunch, man. We're doing something smooth, something sexy, something intimate for about 150, 160 people that will be in attendance for that. So get y'all tickets to that. We are already halfway sold out on that one. So get y'all tickets to that. All the tickets for all of these events are available at officialtrpe.com. Everything's spelled out right. It ain't like AFFIKAL, not like officialtrpe.com. Go to the website, get y'all tickets, and get y'all outfits ready. We are 4 weeks away, man. This joint came fast. We started out, we was like 12, 13 weeks ahead, and is now, you know, we are closing in on the home stretch of this thing. So we need y'all to get y'all tickets, man. Pull up and come out and celebrate this big monumental achievement that we have, man, with us signing our network deal and everything like that, and giving y'all something to end the summer off as well, right before y'all got to put them kids back to school and go back to your regular work life, because y'all been cutting up all summer.
Yeah, straight up. Should be fun.
Should be excellent.
I'm looking forward to it. It's hot in here today.
Little warm. Yeah. Little warm. These lights, man.
Where are we at? What day is it?
Today is Sunday.
I'm in the date. It's like the 29th.
30th.
Is it?
Yeah, it's the 30th.
Is this one of those 31 months?
This is one of them 31 months. So Monday's the 31st. So we're recording this on the 30th. You're hearing this on the 31st, man. If you are on Earth, essentially, I think the biggest topic and the biggest thing that transpired this weekend was a mega fight, a super fight, something that was built up to be a fight for the ages, which was Errol the Truth Spence versus Terrance Bud Crawford for the first unified, undisputed welterweight championship in, I think, like 25 years or something like that.
Yeah.
So
something like that.
For those of you that are casual boxing fans, casual combat sport fans, not really familiar, welterweight is at 147 pounds. This is the weight division where Floyd Mayweather made his bones. This is the weight division where Oscar De La Hoya for a long time made his bones before he ended up moving up to middleweight. Manny Pacquiao. A lot of great fighters come through the welterweight division and basically are, over the last 30 years, have become the class of boxing. When you talk about skill set, precision, power punching, all of that. As the heavyweight division has kind of like gone away, and it's coming back now, but you tend to see the best buck for buck, pound for pound quality fights at welterweight and middleweight above it for the most part over the last like 20 years.
It is crazy when you look back at like what the heavyweight division was throughout like the 70s, 80s, 90s, where like the heavyweights were, you know, that's 220, you know, around that, and they were so in shape. Like Tyson was ridiculously in shape.
At all times.
Holyfield was ridiculously in shape. Even the niggas who weren't like great champions of the heavyweight division, like Botha and remember Bruce Seldon? That nigga was like a damn tank. Yeah. Like they were in shape like
Riddick
shit.
Bowe was another one.
No, they were just big and strong, and they were muscular physiques.
Yeah.
And now the heavyweight division, that shit be looking like me and Big Dan on certain. Be like, yo, why all these niggas got love handles hanging over their shorts? That
Andy
shit.
Ruiz,
Dog.
Tyson Fury.
Ref be out there checking under their gut, make sure ain't no objects under that shit be
Knife.
Nigga got smelling salts up on this side. Like the heavyweight division be look. The only one that's in shape is Deontay Wilder.
Wilder and Anthony Joshua.
And about saying Joshua, but he's an idiot. You know what I'm saying?
He's a punching bag.
He got punched once in the face and was just like,
we fight back.
Whoa. Yo, straight up.
So this fight that took place last night, essentially, stopped the world. It was big. They did, multi-city press tour, the whole nine. And this is basically O versus O in terms of undefeated versus undefeated for all the marbles, all of the freaking belts, man. And I'm here to say, I'm going to keep it 1,000 with y'all today. This fight was a total fucking letdown. Like,
I want to go on record by saying that we didn't really cover much on it, but everyone who asked me over the last couple weeks, I told him Bud, and I'm like, Bud is just a way better fighter.
Yeah.
Errol Spence to me, I think we did it on Patreon for a little bit.
Yeah.
Errol Spence to me is like, everything about him just gives me like, and no disrespect to the man, I'm going to go down that later on.
Yeah.
But I just don't look at him as like the caliber of like person that Bud is. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm going to keep it a buck. I'm an Errol Spence guy. And I've loved Spence since the Olympics, since he debuted pro, the whole nine. He's a PBC fighter, which is Al Heyman and Floyd's company. And he's done a lot in the sport of boxing, and he's never bowed down to a tough challenge, including last night. Because without him, this fight doesn't get made. Because he relented on certain things coming into this fight with having 3 belts, having took belts from 3 different champions that he didn't have to relent on, but he did it for the greater good of boxing. So let's give Errol Spence the credit and a round of applause for even stepping up to take the challenge of doing that. But as an Errol Spence guy, I just look at him like he's salt and pepper. He gets the job done every single time. He's straight up and down. He's not necessarily super duper skilled, but he's imposing. He's a Terminator-like force that just comes forward. He's taking big shots. He was never dropped before last night. And last night, we saw every chink that is in his armor. Bud exposed the shit.
I just think Bud is just a better boxer for boxing. I don't look at Errol Spence in that like the way I look at Floyd is kind of the same way I look at like Bud. Whereas like Errol Spence, I look at him as like a Zab Judah, where it's like, you nice, don't get it fucked up, you a champion. No, I'm not talking about on that same caliber of skill. I'm talking about the way I look at him as a person, where it's like, you nice and you dope, but it's like, I see you shooting dice with Lil' Kim, and that's more of like your thing than the boxing shit. Then I see you in the ring and it's all out mayhem because you get punched in the face a couple times and you trying to fight Floyd Uncle. That nigga took you know what? Fuck this nigga. Oh, hey. It's like, I just never looked at Errol Spence as like that. And, coming into it last night, I literally said, I'm like, yeah, I think Bud is just a better fighter. It is what it is.
So I'm gonna keep it real. The way I looked at it was, let's call it a spade a spade. Bud fought a lot of car mechanics, a lot of
He's gonna go back, and I'm gonna go into that. He's gonna go back to fighting
a lot of
mechanics.
Uber drivers.
But the thing I look at, like, Errol Spence is like and don't get it fucked up because Bud and them are super ghetto. But Errol Spence to me is like 7 Cubans, all of that shit. Whereas like Bud to me just look like a that old head at your job who just love his job and all he do is go to work.
Well, Bud had on a do-rag over a Nipsey Russell fro.
That's how them old heads, them lunch pail old heads.
He's a country strong
He looked
nigga.
like a lunch pail.
Yeah.
And one thing I learned from life is them lunch pail old heads, they gonna work. They coming to work every day. And he just give me lunch. You saw after the fight was over, it was like, the ref stopped it and Bud turned around and was just like, damn, work over.
Yeah.
Clock out. Like, that's how he looked.
Even when, and Bud is such a gentleman and just such a class act, even when he's in the midst of, obliterating this man, he still takes the time. The bell ring, he like, yo, you good? All right, cool. Like, he's a gentleman. He's a pugilist.
We're going to get off in because I'm going to start at the beginning, but there were times where it was like, you could almost sense Bud didn't want to completely let his hands, because it was like, yo, this shit ain't fair, yo. Like, that's kind of how it felt.
And I'm fucking my money up because the money's in the rematch.
So, let's start at the beginning. So the fight was in Vegas last night. I've said it before. I'm gonna say it again. The boxing arena, and not the specific building, but the world, the
world of boxing.
What they call it in Marvel,
the cinematic universe.
The boxing universe is extremely ghetto compared to what it used to be. When they was
it was always ghetto. It was always pretty
not
ghetto.
The way it is now, yo.
It was ghetto top down. Now just the fans are the fans
like
the fans in the media are ghetto.
Yeah,
around boxing.
So when they was like, I was funny because we was on the couch and the announcer was like, Errol Spence, Bud Crawford, 4 belts, unification. This, of course, is gonna bring out all the stars. Let's see who's here. And I was like, oh, this is about to be a bunch of niggas. They started when you start in the 90s when they started with the let's see who's here. The first person they would show you would be like
John Travolta,
Tom Hanks. Yeah. They started with Damian Lillard. I'm like, oh yeah, it's
Dame time.
It's going way down after this. They went from Damian Lillard to Draymond Green to Chris Brown to then they started showing the boxer niggas. They showed the Charlos. They showed Evander. They showed Mike Tyson. They showed
I seen E40 in there with a crazy leather outfit on.
And I'm just like, yo, it's all.
E40 was sitting next to Steven Espinoza. E40 getting too much goddamn money,
for sure. I'm like, yo, the boxing arena is it's rap niggas, gang niggas, niggas. It's just niggas.
Uber niggas, Maybach niggas.
And a bunch of prostitutes. It's niggas everywhere, yo. Like, that shit is crazy. And but it brings them out. You know what I'm saying? These moments become moments. They're things to be at. It's a shit show. You know what I mean? That's what it is. So they fought at 147, which is a little bit down for Errol Spence. He had to like make weight at 147.
Yeah, he's been fighting at 47 for a while, but he walks around at like 180.
I was like, he don't even walk around at like 160. So he walks around like 40 pounds heavier than what the fuck he fight for that. So whatever. They fought at 147. All 4 belts on the line. From the rip, the entrance, and I'm just like, yo, I really don't remember it being like this, like with HBO boxing and shit like that, where it's just like, yo, who is you? All right, yeah, come on, we slide.
Yeah, he had like the nigga that brought Errol out was like big somebody to plug or whatever the hell. And I'm just like, oh, this is real ghetto. Like he had his shirt open with the made up Cartier set. I mean, made up Christian Dior set on or whatever. I'm like, yeah, this. Did you see
the made up Dior shit that Akon had on?
Oh, the Drio.
Yeah, the Drio.
The Drio. Yeah, that's gonna kill him right here. That's that reverse Dior right there.
So then Bud comes out, and when Bud walked out of the little tunnel by himself, and I'm just like, okay, I get the old school approach. Then you realize like I'm like, who the fuck is the white boy? And I'm like, oh shit, that's Marshall.
It's Marshall.
Damn, Eminem is out the house. Check this out. You know what I'm saying? And Eminem in the same outfit I saw him in last time in 2014.
And the last time at the BET Cypher, and the time before that.
Black hoodie, black cargos, Jordan 4s. Him ain't putting shit out.
Em took 3 steps out of the tunnel and his social anxiety kicked in, and nigga was like, no, y'all just go on without me.
Eminem came out, they started playing Lose Yourself. He didn't rap a word. They got halfway to the ring, and Em was like, this is where I venture off. You're on your own now.
Yeah, his who all gonna be there kicked in, and then he dipped.
And I told Ron Jules, I'm like, Bud probably didn't clear the whole fee. And then was like, all right, they're just gonna play the song, and I'm gonna walk halfway.
Yeah, I got 3,200 right now. You know what I'm saying?
If I win this,
I got millions, big millions, multi-millions. But right now, 3,200.
M walked him halfway and was just like, all right, this is where we split. Do your thing, kid. And Bud got down there and got in the ring. Let's get into the fight. It started like all fights start in that welterweight, middleweight, featherweight, bantamweight.
It was a typical Errol Spence fight for the first round.
Couple jabs, not much hooking, not much.
Errol Spence coming straight ahead like the fucking Terminator.
And one thing I noticed that Bud kind of did was like the Floyd Mayweather shit, where it was like learning the timing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to just give you this round because I'm going to figure out your timing. And once I get that, it's kind of downhill.
Yeah.
And, you know, for what it's worth, Spence won the first round on pretty much everybody's card. He won round 1. And in the second round, Bud caught him with like just the cleanest overhand right jab. It didn't even look like it was like damaging till you saw it in slow motion. You're like, yeah, connected dead on the chin. And it was like that moment kind of just like changed everything.
Yeah, because Errol Spence has never been down. Errol Spence got rocked against your Dennis Ugas, who broke your Dennis Ugas for clarity's sake, broke Pacquiao in half. Like, he had Pacquiao eating soup for 4 months. Like, he broke Pacquiao in half. And your Dennis Ugas cracked Spence, knocked his mouthpiece out. He thought his teeth came out because he got partials in his mouth from the car accident or whatever. He said, I thought my teeth came out, and he cracked him, and he stood up to that shit and made it out of the round. So to see a sharp, short distance punch like that put Errol on his ass, I'm like, this is something different altogether. This is a different caliber of a fighter. This is somebody that has basically unlocked the matrix and is getting up, pause, for his biggest fight of his career. And he downloaded all the information he needed to download on Spence, and after that, it was pretty much over. Spence never was in control of the fight at any other moment going forward from there.
No, it was just total domination.
And when you see Crawford in the post-fight, he said, they was like, the jab was like such a huge, like, tool for you tonight, whatever. What did you do different? He said, normally I throw a flicking jab, more so like to get people off me. He said, but he's a big, strong fighter, so I had to work on throwing like a more menacing jab, something that like would like break bones. He was like,
shit,
yeah, he's like, and we worked on that. He said, we did a pre-camp, then we came to Vegas a month out, finished camp here. He said that was something that we worked on the whole entire time, and then when you see it in play, you like, oh, okay, I see why you worked on this.
Yeah, straight up. He dropped him in the second, and then he dropped him again twice in the 7th. Yeah. At that point, the second, I can't believe Spence got up from the second knockdown in the 7th, because that was just the cleanest right cross, and it put him down. And one thing I will say is I give Spence even though I'm not the biggest Spence fan, I give him a lot of credit, because like you just said, after the second round knockdown,
it was over.
There wasn't a moment where it was like he was throwing punches. It almost looked like they was fighting in front of Elmwood skating rink. Yeah. Like them punches looked like 71st and Saybrook. Yeah. Like none of them shits look like a professional, I'm punching from the hip.
Right.
It just looked like, it was like that.
And conversely, all of Bud's punches, while shorter in distance, they were just...
Them short hooks he was throwing were just like,
bone shatter.
What the fuck? And I give Spence credit, because I would have left.
Yeah,
I would have. I'm out.
That was a fight where it was so easy to mentally check out. Your nose is broken. Clearly, early in the fight, your nose is broken.
There was blood everywhere.
There's blood everywhere. There was a slow-mo. I don't know if you've seen it when they replayed it, when you seen the blood fly out of his nose. I'm like, this fight is over. There's nothing that you can do. And when you are in a fight and you're pressing the action and the counter punches are stronger than your planet flush punches, you are in for a long night, because there's essentially nothing you can do. And Bud is a switch hitter. Pause. He fights from both sides. He elected to fight southpaw against the southpaw, and it was so easy. He never even had to switch back the conventional stance at no point.
No. I told Lee, I'm like, yo, I know me. I would have came to, after like the 6th round, I'd have came over and been like, yo, throw the towel. Yeah. And then when you throw the towel, like, what the fuck you doing?
What the fuck is going on? Fucking trainer. You fired, pussy.
Yo, I'll fuck you up, nigga. Like
that fight last night reminded me, remember that video from Instagram years ago where the bull got socked and he was like, I ain't getting jumped for no fucking body, and ran off. Like, that was one of them Jones where it's like, yo, nobody will fault you if you just say, you know what, tonight ain't my night, my man. Like, I trained for this wrong.
I give Spence credit. He went out on his shield. He didn't quit. The ref had to stop it. And for that beatdown where it was like, Bud landed 80% of his jabs. Yeah. He landed 60% of his power shots. That's total domination. The only other fight that I can compare this to, just off of like, and I'm not the biggest boxing motherfucker, but like, I instantly thought Floyd and Arturo Gotti. Yeah. That was what I thought. Where it was 6 rounds of just Floyd landing anything he wanted to land and Gotti just not having a shot. Right. Where even when you landed a nice little combination, Floyd would pop, 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 and you just like, why even trying these combinations? At one point in the joint, Gotti he stopped Floyd dead in his tracks with a solid right hand. And they was like, oh, that stung. And Floyd came out of it and threw the two wildest. It was almost like, you know how them niggas be like millie rocking? It was like two of the wildest uppercuts ever. And both of them hit him to the point where Gotti's legs just was like wobbly. And it was like, this is just over at this point. And literally he went to the joint and his trainer said that they couldn't get the mouthpiece out of his mouth. Everything was so swollen, they couldn't move his mouthpiece. And they was just like, yo, this shit done, yo. Like, this is just dumb. And Spence last night didn't quit. He even in the fight, he didn't get to where he was like running. He was still coming forward. And it's just like, yo, he and then after the fight, he did the in-ring interview. He did the presser afterwards. And nigga was better than me tonight. What the fuck? It just is what it is, nigga. Nigga whooped my ass, and I'm gonna have to come back from this shit. It is what it is.
Derek James, who's his trainer, who's the trainer of the year, I believe, 2022 and 2021, he's gonna have to unlock something different in Errol Spence in order to make this potential rematch an even palatable fight where even casual people care about it. The fight last night did not sell out box office.
No, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I know this might be a little early or a little just me. I think Spence is like, retirement might be an option.
Yeah,
I'm just keeping it a buck.
And what's crazy is retirement might be an option for both of them for two totally different reasons.
Keeping it a buck. Like Errol Spence, for what it's worth, you've done enough. You've had 30-something fights. You're not no young nigga. You 30, what is he? 33, 34. The two accidents made you lose time. Like you lost a year and a half essentially just on the strength in your prime. And it's like this was so bad as like your will and your heart, yes. But as far as boxing skill, I can't see you getting the same energy built up for a second part of this. No. Because if the casual fans didn't give a fuck, the boxing purists is like, we don't need to see this shit again.
Especially not at a premium ticket price.
No. I'll get into that, and we'll go into that part of it. But just in the grand scheme of things, it was as bad as it could have been.
Yeah.
I have one thing that like super got on my nerves last night. Do you know what it was?
No.
That fucking icy prime chain was so annoying to me last night. It was obnoxious and annoying when Bud came out with it. Yeah. And then when he won and
put it back on.
They were putting the belts on him, and that white nigga with the bow tie made it a point to come put the chain on and have it over the belts. And it's just like, yo, I've been on the fence because I work out, so I do energy drinks and shit, pre-workouts. I've been on the fence about trying the prime because I keep seeing it. After last night, I'm never fucking.
It's never happened.
Like it was just so those type of Jones when I know it's being backed by these companies because it just feels so just like niggery, and I hate it.
And here's the thing: on the flip side, when you see Logan Paul, who's one of the principal owners of Prime, when you see him endorsing the product and this and this and this, it's not like some coonery attached to like, I gotta have this big ass chain with this Prime, because to his demographic, just pitching the product is enough. And it's like, they almost feel like in order for niggas to get the message, we gotta stop, we gotta shine on niggas, we gotta stun on these niggas.
You could have simply had, I think it was more of a statement piece that Tank came in his last fight and had on the fucking dunk boxing boots.
Yeah, the skunks.
Everybody kept talking about that. But that just was so obnoxious that it was just like, yo, what the fuck? Because Bud, again, is a lunch pail nigga.
He's not that guy.
It don't even fit. The aesthetic. How you got that with a Michael Evans throw? With an icy prom chain? Yeah, it just felt weird as shit. Did you see Logan Paul was talking shit about Errol Spence losing, and the reason he lost was because he don't drink Prime, he drink Gatorade? And I'm just like, yo, I'm ready to fuck y'all up, man.
Like, you know Errol Spencer beat you up tonight. Even after him getting beat up, he's still tighten you up tonight.
Next fight gonna be a 2-on-2. Me and Floyd versus Logan Paul and an alligator nigga. I'm telling you, I'm ready to get in there. But he was talking shit about him drinking Gatorade or whatever, because he should have been drinking Prime and all this stupid shit. But that chain was just it bugged me.
Going back to your point though about about Errol's potential retirement, I had one specific point that I wanted to make, which is the politics of boxing make it so that they like delay the inevitable. You got Crawford is 35, Spence is 33. For all intents and purposes, these guys should have fought when they was 27 and 25 or whatever the case may be. We got to get to a point in boxing when we're letting the best fight the best and figuring out who is the cream of the crop way sooner than 35, 28, 30 fights in, or whatever the case may be, because if there is an emerging contender that deserves to be in the mix, their career is being stunted by the shit also.
I'm going to keep it a buck with you. It's funny you brought that up because I have like a feeling about that. So y'all hear the way I talk all the time about the 24-hour news cycle. Y'all hear the way I talk about social media all the time. Both of those things have affected the world of boxing so bad. Where, perfect example, Mike Tyson legitimately went to jail for rape. Yeah. He didn't lose any of his cachet while he was in jail. In fact, he became a bigger draw.
Got more popular
when he came home. Evander Holyfield lost to Riddick Bowe. Riddick Bowe knocked his ass clean the fuck out. And while Evander was the man, when Riddick Bowe won, Riddick Bowe became the man. Riddick Bowe was making cameos and television shows and all of that shit. When Evander decided to come back, he still had all his cachet. Whereas now, because of social media and the 24-hour news cycle, you almost have to protect your fighter outside of the ring more than in the ring.
That's real shit.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like the second you lose, it's like, damn, what the like the draw to it is gone.
And to that point, the fans claim that they want these big super fights and the best should fight the best and blah, blah, blah. But then as soon as somebody loses, y'all are the first ones to tell them that they not shit. So why should as a fighter, why should I capitulate to what the fans want if y'all are going to be the first ones to slander me if I lose, whether it be by a blowout like this fight or if I lose a close fight?
Ali went out there and beat the hell out of Joe Frazier. Nobody in the world was like, oh, Joe Frazier a bum, he need to give it up. Yeah. They came back, Joe Frazier beat the shit out of Ali. Ali, nigga, how you think we got the Rumble in the Jungle and the Thrill in Manila and the Hoedown in Motown? All that shit was multiple times. Evander, when Tyson bit his ear, that wasn't the first fight. That was the second fight.
Exactly.
It's like you had these moments because Tyson was allowed to go out there and get his bell rung, and then the first fight do 1.5 million in pay-per-view buys. The second fight did 2.4. Like, we allowed to get bigger and lose.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, now, every time LeBron loses a finals, oh, man, you ain't nothing like Jordan, because Jordan ain't nothing. It's that shit.
How does this affect his legacy?
The 20, I will never forget. This is when I told, Jules was like, yo, you finally got me on board. I gave up the early morning sports shit on ESPN. I'm like, they're junk, dog. Yeah. I'll never forget this shit. This was like 2000 and, what year was that the Browns had, what was the white ball?
Johnny Manziel.
What was that? Like 17, 18?
Earlier than that, I think it was like
16, 15, some shit like that.
Somewhere 14, 15, 16.
The Browns legitimately were like 4-6.
Yeah.
And they came out and blew out the Patriots on a fucking Sunday. Manziel had like 390 yards, like 4 touchdowns, whatever. The next day, I cut on First Take. The headline at the bottom said, Browns 5-6. Can they be contenders for the AFC chip? I'm like, what the fuck, man? What in the fuck? Like, that's how this shit roll now.
Yeah.
So whereas back in the day, you could lose, and yeah, it would be news, but it would be an article in the paper. Mm-hmm. It'd be a segment in the motherfucking Sports Illustrated, and then we might see an E60 on it in 2 weeks.
Right.
Whereas like now, if you lose, people is going in to everything. I don't know if y'all noticed it, but I put it in the group chat last night. I don't know, man. Something just seemed off. I don't know, man. Then somebody says, yeah, man, I'm feeling like they cloned Spence. And I'm just like, this is where we get.
As opposed to him getting thrown from a car going 100 miles an hour, they cloned him. Like, he is different. It's like after we all saw Paid in Full 100 times. We all saw the scene where he said, I'm feeling different. My body is different. I ain't the same no more. Like, that just is what the fuck it is. And Father Time on top of that is undefeated. Errol has experienced some real deal trauma. The nigga can't drive a lick. Every time he get behind the wheel of a car, he ends up in a fucking severe ass car accident. And that has taken a physical toll on this otherwise strong, virile, Terminator type of a fighter. He's not who he was.
That nigga country is shit. Like, he got on that mic, said, Errol, man, what happened tonight? He said, ooh. He was going nigga country. He said, ooh. He said, that boy was good tonight. That boy just even better than me. Yeah. Like, dog. But it's like, you get what I'm saying with all of that. Because of the world we live in now, you almost got to, like, if you're PBC, you got to protect your guys. Because the second one of them lose, the whole thing could get blown up.
And the thing is, they didn't even protect them because he fought everybody. He beat Danny. He beat Sean Porter. He beat Kell Brook. He beat Dennis Ugas. He beat them all.
Look at HBO boxing for what it was back in the day, where it's like you had so many different things going on. And essentially, Floyd being there and just deciding, yo, I'm out. Y'all don't have a draw big enough to compete with this.
Yeah, they couldn't combine draws, and he put the company out of business. There is no HBO boxing.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, nowadays, these companies who blow up and these promotions who get a big name, you got to protect that more than anything. So while, yes, a mega fight between this person and this person could yield great results, in reality, not really. And that's what I was kind of getting to last night with, like, Tank. Because niggas last night started to... Bud is most likely the pound for pound. It's either him or the Asian.
It's him in the new way.
Yeah. But I'm like, Tank is the god right now of boxing. And motherfuckers was, like, arguing me, like, how you figure. And I'm like, what you mean how I figure?
The biggest draw in boxing. Bar none.
This fight with Spence and Bud, the projections was 500,000 to 600,000 pay-per-view buys.
That's crazy.
And I'm like, yo, Tank and Ryan Garcia just did 1.2 mil. I'm like, that's Tyson.
Really 1.4.
I'm like, that's Tyson Holyfield numbers. I'm like, the first Tyson Holyfield did 1.5. And my homie is like, I mean, that's right on par. Like, that ain't crazy. I'm like, you're talking about 1.5 million in the 90s when the only way to watch the fight was to buy it.
Was the pay-per-view.
I'm like, literally.
It was pay-per-view or a chip box.
I'm like, we all watched the fight tonight off fucking Fire Sticks. I'm like, ain't nobody buying this shit. Like, to still be able to do millions of buys now, that's crazy as shit. And I'm like, Spence and Bud just put together a mega fight on some unification shit that you rarely ever see in your lifetime. And we talking about 500,000 buys. Tank can go fight a fire hydrant, and that shit gonna get 350,000 buys.
Tank hasn't fought for no belt that matters. Not one time, and all of his shit just keep going up. Tank has the live box office record in DC, in Brooklyn. He beat his he set and reset the live gate record for boxing in Brooklyn twice. He has a live gate record in Los Angeles at fucking Crypto, which used to be Staples, and he has the 5th highest box office in the history of Las Vegas. On top of that, he's put up 1.4 million with Ryan Garcia, which is essentially a YouTuber or a fucking TikTok star. 1.4 million pay-per-view buys on top of all of the fucking pirated streams and all of this other shit that went on in that fight at a premium number of $85 a pop. That fight just in pay-per-view generated like $300 million. Tank made like $60 million off of that last fight because Oscar just came out and said Ryan made 30. So Tank made 60. And Tank going to be back fighting sometime in October, November, and it's going to be the same shit all over again. Wherever he fights at is going to be an event. It's going to bring out all the dope boys, all of the athletes, all of the prostitutes, all of the call girls, all of the fucking, all of the boxing fans, because he is the culture. And people are proud to pay to support somebody that they feel like they have something to do with their success.
Straight up. So, you know, at the end of the day, I think Bud is phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, shout out to Spence because, you know, getting hit like that and continuing to keep coming is just like, yo, you better than me.
Bud would have literally had to, if there is no ref and that fight just goes on how it goes on, Bud would have had to kill him last night. And Spence would have gladly, proudly died.
And I think it's funny because whenever the motherfucker's getting pummeled and the ref stop it, he look at the ref like, what you doing?
What's up with you? Nigga, what's up with you?
I'm only down 10 rounds. What's your problem?
What's wrong with your hands? Why are you not using them?
Scorecard right now, 80 to 70. And you tripping. Like, I'm in the back.
You know you got dropped 2 times, 2 rounds ago, right? No, what the fuck?
Yo, when Errol Spence went to the corner it was either the end of the 5th or the 6th, maybe it was the 6th, right before the 2 knockdown Joe. His trainer was like, "Yeah, man, I think you might be behind on the card." I'm like, "You think?"
I think you might be behind on
like,
the
nigga, what? Card. Like, yeah, man. you know, it's got everybody, you know, amped up, like what happens next, what goes on next. And I'm like, at this point, no welterweight, nobody in their right mind is going to want to get in the ring with Bud. I'm like, what's going to happen is, like, Bud is going to have to fight Tyson Fury at a catchweight,
right?
Maybe 180
at the carnival.
Yeah, 197
at the World's Fair.
Right. Like there, or go fight John Jones.
Like I look at Bud in a vacuum and what he did last night. Keep in mind, this is his 11th knockout in a row. When you look at that and you see all of these different people that he fought, Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, it's like he just obliterated all of these guys. Mean Machine, all these different guys, just obliterated them. The only way, like, he looks unbeatable from 135 to like 160. Like, I don't really see anybody. Like, I don't necessarily think that the little Charlo that's fighting Canelo can beat Bud.
I thought the bigger Charlo was fighting.
No, he's fighting the little Charlo at 160. He's fighting the little Charlo at the big Charlo's weight. So I don't necessarily think
that's why I thought he was fighting the big Charlo.
No.
All right.
He's still got mental health stuff. He's refusing to come back to boxing.
He was there last night, though.
Yeah. They're at everything. Yeah. He just won't fight.
I'm around.
I'm here.
Icy, you know what I'm saying?
So I don't necessarily think he can beat him. I don't necessarily know that, you know, in some weird alternate universe that Canelo can beat Bud. Like, I don't know that for sure. If they fought at a 155 catch weight or something like that, I don't think
Canelo would do it. I think he's like too.
Fuck no, he's not gonna do it.
Yeah, I'm saying he's too far. In his like younger Canelo probably would have did it, but at this point, Canelo walks around at like 185, 190. Yeah. Like, I don't see him coming down that far. Just
so now you're talking about a David Benavidez at 160. That's when it starts to be like, all right, Bud can't beat him. Yeah. Like, when you start getting to like David Benavidez or Artur Beterbiev or
what's the boy who fought last night on the undercard? Because Tank beat him.
Oh, Isak Cruz. He fights at 35.
Right.
Isak Pitbull Cruz. Yeah, he fights at 135.
You know who he looks like? Isak Cruz. Take a guess. You'll never get it.
Then why am I taking a guess?
Just take a guess. If you get it, I give you $1. Because when I say it, you gonna really get it. Just picture Isak Cruz. You pictured him?
Yeah.
Who do he look like?
He looks like a Goomba from Super Mario. Is what he looks
you
like.
Was close. He looks like Raphael from the Ninja Turtles.
Like this.
Yeah. Remember with the hawk? He looks just like Raphael from the real Ninja Turtles movie, man. Straight up.
Yeah, so I don't necessarily see that there's, you know, I'm saying, like, it would have to be a guy that's so dramatically you know, bigger than him to even make it a fight. Like somebody like Dimitri Bivol, like, who whooped Canelo's ass for fucking 12 rounds. It would have to be like a situation like that. But pretty much anybody that's in striking distance of, you know, because Bud is the best pound for pound. And when you talk about pound for pound, that delineation is given to people that, you know, dominate up and down, up and down whole weight divisions. He looked just like him.
He looked just like Raphael from the first Ninja Turtles, dog.
So when I look at Bud, and he was undefeated at 35, undisputed at 35. He whooped everybody's ass at 140. I think he might have got 1 or 2 belts at 140, whooped everybody's ass, moved up to 47. Now he's undisputed at 47. He's the first male fighter in history to be undisputed in 2 different divisions. Like, he's playing a different game.
They made a big deal out of that last night, and I respect it. My biggest thing is, like, certain people like Floyd or Pacquiao, they could have done it, but they were moving so goddamn fast.
Yeah, Pacquiao was an 8-weight division.
No, like, dude, as I was telling Lee last time, I'm like, Pacquiao fought at 119, 120. I got a rumble at 122 on Saturday. Right. 128, 131. Nigga said he wants to work 133 and a half. I'm going to go whip his ass. Like, he was moving through weight classes so fast. That's how him and Floyd are one of only 5 quintuple because they were jumping weight classes. Yeah. You don't think Floyd could have unified every belt at welterweight if he wanted to?
Yeah, Floyd was the real pound for pound best. And then when he retired, Pacquiao was the pound for pound best because they was where's the rumble at?
Right. By the time Pacquiao didn't have any belts. Pacquiao been getting his ass whipped so much. Pacquiao like, no, I got my Louis belt. You want that? Put that on the line. Like,
I only have the Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, like there was no belt left. Like,
I may have Gucci at home.
Yeah, straight up. Like Floyd and Pacquiao were moving through weight classes so fucking frequently and so much. And that's the thing about all that catch weight shit.
Floyd was fighting at 154 and shit like that, and he was 149. Like, he wasn't even making weight. He wasn't even making top weight.
Dog. When Floyd came to fight Marquez, that nigga was, they was like, for every pound over the weight you are, you got to pay $300,000.
Yeah.
Floyd came, they weighed him. He was 2 pounds over. They was like, so whatever. Floyd, they was like, yo, you owe $600,000. Floyd like, I mean, I got that. I'm bringing it in.
I got it in the car.
I got it in the trunk. Floyd was just doing whatever the fuck he wanted. But he was moving. That's the point I'm making. He was moving through these weight classes so much where it's like, to unify some shit, you like, look at Bernard Hopkins. You got to stay there. Yeah. Bernard Hopkins fought at middleweight for 74 years. Yes. He didn't give a fuck who was there. You come feed up Felix. I don't give a fuck. Whoever the fuck.
Felix, Oscar. Who was the young boy that whooped his ass?
I seen a nigga at Whole Foods the other day. He was 160. I rub on his ass like, but no, I didn't give a fuck. He wasn't moving from 160. So that's
what's the name was the same way. Hagler was the same way. I'm here.
I'm here.
You know what I'm saying? When y'all get here, let me know.
Yeah,
I'm here.
I am a middleweight. Fuck what y'all talking about. It's just the way it go.
Fucking Hagler was the undisputed middleweight champion for a decade. He whooped everybody's ass. And then finally, what's the name? Sugar Ray caught him at the end. Yeah. And beat him.
All that coke. Like, niggas was out there throwing them bones, man.
Something else I need to address. I support our hometown fighter, our young lion, Jaron Ennis Boots. He said last night, give me the winner of this fight. I need them undisputed straps ASAP. And this is a public service announcement to anybody in and around Boots. Relax. It is not quite time yet. Boots, go out here, beat a couple of these other guys, get your confidence up, get your skills set up, whatever. That Bud fight, that's like an end game fight. And if you are able to beat him at some point, that's literally like signifying a changing of the guard. But just looking at him last night, you got some more work to do.
I respect Boots for wanting the fight.
Yeah.
That's admirable. But, you know, I like Bud is different.
Bud is a different animal.
Yeah, that's just that is he on some Floyd shit.
Yeah.
Like the way I felt super confident, and I literally told Lee last time, like, Bud is gonna win this with ease. Like, that's just how I felt. The way I used to feel going into the Floyd fights was like, I wonder what drama is gonna pop.
Exactly. What's the other fight? Shit? Yeah.
Because him losing doesn't make sense to me. And you know, that to me is the sign of like a true champion, like a true. One thing you can say about Floyd, where people try to make it this thing of like, oh, who did he fight? And it'd be like, well, he fought everybody Pacquiao for it. Yeah. And he fought Pacquiao.
Beat 23 world champions.
And
he has the world record. In case you're not sure
in case
about
you're
who
not up on what the fuck we really
Angel
up
Manfredi was a champion. Arturo Gatti was a champion and a warrior on top of that. Diego Corrales was a world beater. Floyd dropped him 5 times in one fight. Like, don't forget to remember when we're going back through this history of these people. And like you said, literally, all the people that Floyd beat, he beat Ricky Hatton, was a world champion, knocked his ass out. He fought Carlos Baldomir, who was a 160 fighter.
Remember Carlos Baldomir?
He beat Carlos Baldomir. He fought Jose Luis Castillo twice. Won a close decision in the first one. Came back and obliterated him the second fight.
He beat Diego. He beat Zab. He beat Victor Ortiz.
Beat Shane Mosley. He beat De La Hoya.
He beat Miguel Cotto. He beat fucking what was the white boy from Great Britain? Everybody was all hyped about. Ricky Hatton. Yeah. He beat what was the one that beat Adrian Broner ass? Maidana. Like Floyd he beat Pacquiao. It's just a dumb argument. Right. It's just stupid. So it's like when you got that resume, the thing they always talk about in boxing is like, whoa, did you get hit? And like Floyd has that thing on his, like you talking about checking all the boxes. Floyd went in there and fought technically a bigger and stronger Shane Mosley. Yeah. And Shane hit Floyd with 2 of the hardest punches we've ever seen in boxing. And Floyd's knees wobbled, and Floyd had to hold on to get out of that round. And he did what needed to be done, and he won that fucking fight. Yep. You saw the way Errol Spence got hit in that second round last night, because that's the same round Floyd got hit. Yep. And you saw Errol Spence couldn't recover. Floyd recovered and then dominated the rest of the fight. Yeah. So it's like, when you talk about that, like that to me is the last joint with Bud, where it's like, when are you going to have the comeback? When you gonna have the Ali versus George Foreman moment, or the Diego Corrales comeback moment, or the Floyd, like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, Mean Machine dropped him, and he got up and won that fight.
Yeah, true.
So that was the thing for me coming in. Like, he's been wobbled by much lesser opponents.
Yeah.
But as we know, styles make fights more than anything. And he's a fighter that's custom made to beat Errol Spence. Like, if there is a prototypical fighter out there that's going to beat Errol Spence, they fight 100 times, Bud wins 100 times. And last night proved that. And I don't necessarily know what skills Spence can go back and unlock in training to come back and make this a different fight. Because Bud didn't even switch out of southpaw the whole fucking fight. He didn't have to. His counter punch is more damaging and more powerful than your lead punches. Like, so that lends itself to, why are we doing this? This is just a cash grab, essentially, for everybody to fucking get paid on the way out.
I saw somebody had made a big deal out of, like, the fact that people just be saying anything, of course.
Yeah.
But dude was tweeting, and this was like, he had like a timeline of tweets. And it's so crazy because it's like, this be the timeline of, like, the way things go now, right? I have no inside information, but I'm speaking like I do.
Yeah.
I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Y'all some dickheads. Then while the shit is going left of what they said, it's like something ain't right.
Yeah, something else happened.
Then the conspiracy theory comes out. Then all out anarchy in the tweets. The niggas tweets, no bullshit. The first tweet was, if you think Bud has a chance tonight, you clearly don't know what's up. I know what's going on in the camps, and I'm telling y'all now, Spence in a complete wash tonight. Next tweet was,
I know what's going on in the camps. It's crazy.
I know what's going on.
I watched All Access.
I'm in there. You know what I'm saying? The next couple tweets was, y'all some dickheads. Y'all don't know boxing. I'm telling you, Bud don't stand a chance. Like, anybody with eyes can see this shit. The next tweets was, oh, I can feel the bullshit coming. I can feel the flim-flam going on now. You could tell the next couple tweets was during, like, the 5th or 6th round, because it's like, this shit not adding up. It almost is given that Bud got something in his gloves. Then the last tweets was, clearly some Illuminati shit is going on, because it's like, you fucking with them prime niggas, Logan Paul, and they all Illuminati. I'm just like, yo, man, why not just log out?
He went through the 7 stages of grief all on Twitter.
Like, why not log out, man? I saw somebody a screenshot, like, all his tweets had it on Facebook. I was like, man, like, people... That nobody wants to be wrong.
Yeah.
And I watch niggas on, because I ain't on nothing but the book. I watch motherfuckers on Facebook over the last couple weeks like, yeah, Spence that nigga, man, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
To where it was like, the shit was over and it was just like, Bud ain't no joke. I told niggas what, and it's just like,
no, you didn't.
Like, nobody just wants to be like, yeah, I wasn't right about this shit.
Every time I spoke about this fight, I made it a point, whether it was in person or on social media, I made it a point
you was on the
to
tip
say,
like, I don't know.
I don't know.
I can't tell.
The best answer, Kevin Gates said, the best answer to any question is, I don't know.
To be fair, a lot of boxing analysts yesterday, over the last couple weeks was like, it was
a pick 'em. It was a 50-50 fight.
Pick your poison. I was more so on the tip where it was just like, I just like Bud. I don't like Errol Spence, so I'm not taking him in much. So it's like, I just like Bud. I just fuck with him. So that's the reason why.
Exactly.
But in the grand scheme of things, it's like, Spence, for what it's worth, is a bigger human. He's a stronger human. He continuously comes forward. It's like, it's not shocking to take a 33-0 world champion with 3 belts. It ain't like it's fucking me getting in there with something and you just like, man, you got to be kidding me. Like, no, it makes sense.
It made sense. And that was the thing. And I'm just like, I'm telling my girl, I'm like, yo, I could see 20 different outcomes to this fight. In the 20 different outcomes, I did not see Bud completely watching this man for 9 rounds.
To be fair, I said it on the joint, I think Bud washes him. And that wasn't me. I'm not doing some grandstanding.
I could have seen Spence by complete destruction before I saw Bud by complete destruction, because he hasn't done it before. He's knocked people out, but this was a different thing. Like, he raised his game 10 levels last night.
Yeah, to be fair, I low-key thought what was going to happen was it was going to be a punch that really hurted Errol Spence, and he wasn't going to be able to recover, and the ref stopped the fight. I didn't see round after round. Like, literally, Lee was like, all right, yo, get him out of there.
Yeah.
You know it's real when the chick is like, oh, come on, what the fuck?
I can't watch this.
Yeah, like, literally, she's like, yo, this, and even she noted it. Spence kept dropping his left hand.
Yep.
And I couldn't understand why he was doing that, because it just left him open for the counterpunch every time.
Yep.
And this is how I knew the beating was, like, just getting horrendously bad. If you watch the last last flurry of punches before the ref stepped in to stop it. It was 3 punches. Bud stepped back to like set his feet, and he caught him with a right hand. And when he hit him, Spence wobbled and touched his face. And I told her, I'm like, anytime you see a fight going on and somebody get punched in the face and then they touch their face, that's the, yo, where my face at?
Exactly. I'm trying to make sure this shit's still here.
I got to make sure my face is still here.
Yeah.
He punched him, and that nigga dead ass was like, whoa. Whew. And I'm just like, yeah, this is done. And sure enough, the ref threw the towel in the next 4 or 5 seconds. But if you get a chance, watch it slow-mo. Spence touched his face. And I'm like, yeah, he did that as like a, I don't know where my face at. Let me see, though. He dead ass. That shit was bad.
It was a brutal fight, man. Pillar to post. He got beat. Outside of the first round, he lost every round. It wasn't close. There was a fucking 10-7 round in there where he got dropped twice. Like, it was bad. It was utter destruction. And to Bud's detriment, I don't see who's going to fight you, buddy. Like, I don't see how you're going to get a quality opponent other than Boots. Boots seems to be ready to take the challenge, but if I'm his team, I'm like, nah, we need 3-4 more fights, like, against strong guys, because he just unlocked something different last night. And like I said in the beginning, he came in this fight bigger. He came into the fight stronger. He was crisper. His punches were just devastating. Even the jab was devastating. Like, how do you beat a guy like that? And his defense was impregnable. Like, he couldn't be touched. He looked like he just got finished doing yard work at the end of this fight. He did not look like he was in no 9-round championship fight.
Watch him touch his face. Watch. Boom.
Oh, shit, man.
Like that, I know. I'm like, yeah, this is done.
They knocked my nose off. Yeah. I'm out here looking like the Sphinx.
remember Mr. Potato Head on Toy Story? Anybody see my nose? My dog.
Bad job,
yeah,
man.
it was bad. But I do give Spence credit.
Got to give Spence all the credit
for
in the world,
going out on his sword. Like that's a
he was prepared to die last night. Yeah. Which I don't advise it, because you only get one life as far as we know. So I don't advise dying in the ring, but he was prepared to die last night.
And I saw a lot of people who, I get it, because it's just the world we live in, where it's like, you know, people are going to say things. That's the world we exist in. Everybody has an opinion on shit. But I saw way too many niggas I've seen punched in the face have this attitude of like, man, you got to come harder than that. Like, nigga, punch, you need to get back on your... And it'd be like, man, I remember on the 36, that day you got punched coming out of main building. Like, getting punched in the face is not easy. No, people think that shit is sweet.
Because when you get punched in the face, you got a decision to make.
Dog.
You got a decision to make. Are you gonna what do they call it? Fight or flight. Yeah, feast or famine. Like you got a decision to make. And when you're the one you're already the punchy. Now you gotta dig deep and decide, like, am I willing to take another 2, 3, 4, 8 of these in order to try to, come back and get this off, man.
I remember craziest fight I ever been in my life. I was in 7th grade and I got in a fight, and I knew because I was bigger than him and I felt bigger than him.
Yeah.
He ran track, so I knew he was fast. But I didn't think that was gonna like transition over
into the fight.
Yeah, I thought he just was a fast runner. And I know bullshit. Like, you ever get in a fight with somebody and you can't hit them? That's another level of frustration. Yeah. Like, I'm swinging and dead ass like missing to the point where like I low key like hit the water fountain.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Like, I'm swinging and I'm missing and I hit the water fountain. And I'm just like, where is this nigga at? Like,
fighting the Flash in between periods.
Dog. I had a breakdown in that fight. Like, I just stopped and started screaming.
Come here so I can punch you. Bitch ass nigga.
Dead ass, man. Like, that shit is fresh the fuck eating when you can't hit your opponent. So it's like, yo, people don't understand. Then you in there and the whole world feel like it. Man, listen, he'd have knocked me down in that 2nd round. I've just been like,
so how much am I getting paid again? What's the pay-per-view numbers looking like, big dog?
Yo, remember the bull a couple years ago who just straight left
Yeah.
Remember the fight was about to start and he just walked out the ring like, you know what, I ain't feeling that.
This ain't, I don't feel, my stomach hurt.
My stomach hurt, real shit, dog. You know, like, it be like that. Some days you go to work, you get there, and you just like, I ain't feeling this shit today. I'm out of here.
Man, that fight last night was anxiety-inducing. My heart was beating like I was in the goddamn fight. I'm like, I really don't know what the hell is going to happen. And then at the second round, I was like, all right, I know what's going to happen. I figured it out fast. Yeah, man, and I was rooting for Errol. I wanted Errol to win. I wanted Errol to win, or I wanted to just be a 12-round classic where they just go back and forth and trade on some old school shit, on some 80s shit.
Yeah,
and
the shit happen. Last night was so just like lopsided. It was like, we don't really need a rematch of this. Like, I can't, and Jules on the tip, like, oh, what if they fight at 154? I'm like,
I don't see what it changes.
Yeah, they could fight at 154 and give Errol Spence a kendo stick. I'm not all too sure.
Unless Errol Spence got 4 German guard dogs in the ring with him, you know what I'm saying?
Would you say his next fight, he got to fight a Glock?
Got to fight a Glocky. And it got to have he already survived the headshot. So it has to be the Glock with the switch and a ladder in it. Yeah. Mike got to have a 50-round drum, for real. In order for it to be a fair fight. He was dodging raindrops last night. He stood in the pocket all night last night, dodged raindrops, did not get hit flush ever. Even when he was getting hit, it was like the side of the head. It was like his movement was so crazy. And he was just delivering bone-chilling, stout, like rib-cracking punches at all times, man. And he was paused bigger than Errol Spence last night. It was crazy.
That shit was bad.
Errol Spence looked slight. He looked very small.
He just looked like he didn't have his legs up under him and none of that shit. Like, it was a weird joint from Spence. But like I said, it was entertaining. You know, it was free. Yeah, you know, I wouldn't have paid $85 for it. You know what I mean?
I proudly paid for it.
Yeah, you wanted them to pay for it.
I'm proudly paid for it. I paid for Tank and Ryan fight also. I proudly paid for the shit.
Yeah, I respect you.
I wish I didn't. I added Showtime Boxing to ask for my money back. They have not responded, but
hey.
That shit was bad. Real quick before we exit the boxing space, Devin Haney is fighting Regis Prograis at 140. Devin Haney is moving up.
I swear to God, I thought you was about to say Regis Stillman. I was about to say what?
Regis Prograis from Illinois. I mean, from New Orleans, New Orleans, Louisiana. Mm-hmm. He has one of the belts right now at 140. He's with Matchroom Sports, which is Eddie Hearn's
which one
company.
is Devin Haney?
Devin Haney is the undisputed at 135.
That's the one who was with Bud last night?
No, that was Shakur.
Shakur, that's what I thought.
Yeah, Shakur and Bud are like best buddies. That's like his big brother or whatever case may be. But Haney...
Ain't Devin Haney like a light-skinned nigga?
Yeah, light-skinned nigga. He got the blonde shit in his hair right now.
Do he fuck with the chick?
He was fucking with India Love, and now he goes with Lena Syed from Taz Angels.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's got a lot of hoes in his life.
Sound about right.
So they're fighting at 140. So right now, Devin is undisputed at 135. Devin fought Lomachenko back in May.
So who was it that did the whole thing in the club with the bottle sign?
Shakur sent
it to Devin.
Sent to Devin saying sign a contract.
Okay.
Devin sent him an offer, told him, yo, you can take 25%, blah, blah, blah. It's the same deal I got when I fought George Kambosos to be undisputed or whatever. Shakur said no. They basically went to the WBC, activated his mandatory status. They do what's called purse bid, which I talked about on the show before. They look at the composite of your last 3 fights, your average, whatever, then they figure out a split. The WBC told Devin, you got 7 days to make a decision. You can either move up to 140 and challenge Regis Prograis or challenge somebody for the vacant belt that Teofimo had, or you can stay at 35 and you have to fight Shakur. He like, I'm not fighting Shakur. I'm not going to be here. And we went to 140 to fight Regis Prograis. Okay. On Matchroom Sports and the Zone or whatever like that. So that fight is supposed to be October 28th. Aside from that, Tank is probably going to fight again at some point this year. Canelo's fighting Charlo in September. I think September 30th. Yeah. They're fighting or whatever like that. Undisputed versus undisputed, which at this point it's hard keeping up with Canelo with all these fucking belts, because even when Canelo abandons a weight division, they let him keep the belts.
Yo,
it's weird.
Straight up.
Like,
now coming to the ring 14 times. You be like, what?
Canelo got 33,000 belts. Like, they made up a belt for Canelo. Yeah. The WB say you the franchise champion. What that mean? That mean you get to move up any weight division you want and you still the champion of all the divisions.
The PFFCU champion. You like, damn, Police and Fire.
You got a championship? Yeah, Canelo just won Police and Fire.
It was vacant. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he fighting for the Navy Federal Jones next week.
Straight up. You see Ross at the lemon pepper championship.
Yeah. Talking to Bud, I'm like, Ross is ridiculous. I told Deke last night, I said, yo, Ross is a very unserious dude, and we all get the benefit from it in real time.
Yeah, the lemon pepper champion.
So it's a lot of more, big fights coming up, so-called super fights or whatever. We'll see what happens. I'm just interested to see, my young boy, see Tank get back in there and fight somebody before the year is over.
Did you see the video got released? The Tank getting arrested?
Yes, it was a crazy video.
Wasn't that shit wild?
It was a crazy video.
Yo, it was like no one knows what's the word they always use? De-escalation.
Yeah,
it's like no one
the sheriff was like, whoa, buddy, whoa.
I'm like, yo, this was a simple. Even his manager is a complete bonehead.
Yeah.
The manager,
everybody handled that wrong.
Everybody was just ridiculous in the joint. I'm like, you realize Tank is really like, Bodie from The Wire deep down inside. Like, he don't know how to talk. Like, he don't know how to get a sentence together.
Yeah, he don't know how to communicate himself at
Nothing.
all.
So it almost sounds like he being smart.
Right.
But he being...
It's that Baltimore shit.
Yeah, it almost sounds like he being like a smart aleck, but it's like, no, this is just how I talk.
These only got 14 words.
Maybe on a good day. And I was half asleep when this shit popped off.
Yeah, she tried to like ram the gate with the G-Wax. It was a bad job. And then, for his sake, I hope they're not together no more.
Then the manager comes out and it's like, yo, you as the manager or the handler, you supposed to
take control of this shit.
Yo, let me speak to you. Listen, this was going on. This what happened. Boo, boo, boo. I can go get all of this.
Yeah.
The third dude.
He never hit her. I seen everything. Like
you supposed to bring it. He's literally on the tip like, when they like, yo, who's with the kid? Oh, somebody in there. Nigga, what?
Who in there?
The cop like, yo, I gotta call Child Protective Services. If there's a 4-year-old, then I can't just leave the 4-year-old with anybody. I need to get in contact with the mother or somebody.
The mother ain't here.
Ain't nobody here. I mean, the mother ain't here, but somebody there.
She don't live here. Where she live? Does she live in the state? No. She lives somewhere else. What state do she live? Like, you need to crystallize the point of why we can't just throw the kid out.
Yeah.
Into Child Protective Service, like, sell us on it. Like,
to be all the way
give
real,
us an elevator pitch.
Tank like talked himself in the handcuffs.
Talked himself into jail.
Totally talked himself into prison. Like
you out here with no shirt on. Like they don't know who you are. Like, you not saying I would never hit her. I'm a professional fighter. I lose my license for that. Like, you're not selling the reason why we should just let this go with a write-up.
You just like, so what, you believe her?
Of course she gonna say that.
The fuck? I own all these whips. That has nothing to do with what?
That Tank video proves
a
point that Love Dorsey, who's like online dating relationship coach, whatever, talks about, is that most black people only know how to communicate anger.
Oh yeah.
And in that
blue button.
In that video, all he could communicate was anger and frustration.
You ever deal with people where it's like, when it's time for the I love yous and this, that, and the third, it's like, I love you. But when they're mad as shit, the text is this fucking long. And it's like, yeah, the only real emotion niggas know how to relay at times is just frustration and anger.
Yep.
That's it. My dad left, and I'm still. Listen, I
drank 4 Tahitian treats today.
Sun.
I had a super donut for breakfast.
Sun Kids got a blue joint now. I had 3 of those. I'm ready to go, and that's what it be. So it's like, yeah, in that situation, you as this world-renowned prodigy of a fighter is supposed to be, officer, I'm a licensed fighter. I'm this and the third. I'm licensed in this state. This state.
Right.
I'm only here because I'm downtime for my training camp. She's been tripping. She has a history of this, that, and the third.
Exactly.
You can go look it up. Here goes my license. You can understand. I'm licensed through, like I said, I lose my boxing license for a domestic.
Yeah, I lose my boxing license. I lose my livelihood. I don't want to.
I got my children inside. Can I at least contact the mother just in case? Like, none of that happened. It was literally just like, I was like, yo, don't
ask her. Don't ask me.
Back away from the G-Wagon.
Don't ask me. Ask her. Then they go ask her. Of course she gonna say that.
You believe her?
You told her that. You told him to ask her. This nigga was campaigning for jail. Like,
the manager walked out. I was like, he just looked like one of them niggas that's like useless.
He looked like one of them African credit card scam niggas. He had on a white button down, some loafers, and some jeans. He like an African credit card scam nigga. And I'm just like, you're not helping.
The manager was so bad that the cop was like, all right, I'll tell you what, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, back the fuck
up and go over there. You know, I've had enough of your shit. When he's just like, look, man, because I don't even want to do paperwork. Just go the fuck over.
Just back the fuck up. He said, but I'm collecting his personal effects. Do it over there.
He said, you don't walk up on nobody when we locking him up. Take your dumb ass over.
That shit was
that
crazy,
video was
man.
retarded, man. That was insane. But
Devontae got to get better people around him, man.
Straight
immediately.
up.
Better girlfriend, better manager.
better everything, man. Like this, Lil Wayne, it's a constant theme on this show. Stop letting messy hoes mess with your business, man. Like that shit is real, man. Like you'll end up in a world of trouble just on the strength.
Yeah.
For nothing. For shit that don't even matter. This is just complete nonsense. He was like, yo, so how did she get here? She drove my truck
Drove
here.
my car. Well, how's she supposed to get home?
I
don't know. I got a driver.
That'll take her wherever she want to go. He like, where the driver? I can call him. What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, get the driver over here.
Whole mess, man.
Yeah, he campaigned for jail, man.
Yeah, straight up.
Hopefully that little dumbass skid bit he did taught his dumbass a lesson. 'Cause jail is not it.
It came out looking like Angela Davis, that little fucking fro and shit. That nigga look like Spaceman from Sunset Park. Straight up. Speaking of campaigning for jail, they finally charged Carlee Russell.
Yes, they
dumbass.
did, man.
Like, can we yellow button that, please?
I'm
Like,
gonna clap that up.
Yeah, I'm so happy.
Story via TMZ. Carlee Russell is now facing criminal prosecution, and it's all because police say she completely fabricated that wild kidnapping story, prompting a massive and expensive search. Prosecutors in Hoover, Alabama, just charged Carlee with 2 misdemeanors: false reporting to law enforcement authorities and falsely reporting of an incident. Each charge carries up to 1 year in jail. Hoover Police Chief Nick Durzis said Carlee turned herself in and was released from jail Friday after posting $2,000 bond. As you know, Carlee called 911 earlier this month when she was driving down the interstate to report a toddler wandering alongside the roadside. She got out of her car and then disappeared for 2 days before showing up at her parents' house without so much as a scratch on her. Since then, police have said their investigation shows there was no toddler on the highway and Carlee was not abducted, and she and her parents claimed, and then Carlee finally admitted it was all a phony story.
it wasn't a scratch on her. I bet it was a scratch in that pussy.
Yeah,
Like,
some dick marks all in that junk.
all kinds of tire marks.
Some dick damage. Did you test her for semen?
Yo.
Like, y'all doing the wrong kind of test. Y'all doing an eye test. Y'all need to do a rape kit. See what kind of fluids is floating around in that junk.
Earth is just so ridiculous. And I'm a proud, good black man. I don't want to see anybody black in jail ever. Like we just talked about Tank. You don't want to see that shit happen. You're a world champion. The fuck? Like, but y'all be campaigning for this shit. Nothing good was gonna come out of this.
We still don't know her motivation on why she did
I was
this
about
shit.
to say, that for me is just the joint where it's just like, why?
Yeah, why? Just give me a simple why. Why? She probably gonna write a tell-all. Then I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna save it for the book.
Why? Like
They
that
ain't got to sell but like 4,000 books or some shit to become a New York Times bestseller. So she probably just going to try to save it for the book. But she's wholly ridiculous. She probably was at some weekend orgy or some goofy shit like that. And, lied to her nigga. And the story just got away from her, man. And she just did too much. And it's like, yo, if you just want to disappear and cut your phone off, just disappear and cut your phone off. You ain't got to get police involved in all this nonsense. And here's the thing. When you're orchestrating a lie as big as the one that she told, somebody got to be in on it. Somebody in your life got to know that you bullshitting so that we don't go overboard with all of the other shit that that comes with, a missing person, especially in this climate that we have now with sex trafficking being so prominent.
Why?
like that, like why? Like it don't even make sense. It's just
It definitely doesn't make any sense.
It's just so fucking weird. And like I said, my biggest problem with it is to I guess bring it to the other side. Like I said, I don't want to see anybody black in jail. I hate the thought of prison at times, but y'all be like campaigning for this shit so bad that you got real live black and brown women and children that go missing every day.
Yep. In droves.
In droves. No, the fuck you didn't waste resources, time, energy. Do you know how that community and that police force will look the next time a black woman goes missing?
Yeah, they're gonna be trigger shy. They're not gonna jump to do it. It's gonna be like, oh, what if there's some other bullshit?
Oh, do you know how many black women go missing and don't get a 10th of the media coverage?
Yeah.
That you got behind this shit? You had real live people who are real live community activists and all that going out and making YouTube videos and fucking, they was logging in the Vine and motherfuckers was doing everything.
The Carlee Russell hashtag had almost 5,000 videos on it on YouTube alone.
Dog.
Before
it was
like,
people that was like, is y'all gonna find her? Because you knew y'all don't never, like they was going that route.
Yeah.
Like another one that y'all taking y'all time, dragging y'all feet with. Whole time she at Marcus' crib. Because there's always a nigga named Marcus.
Going to Pound Town. Just left Pound Town.
Dog. That booty hole brown. Like,
And open.
I'm telling you. Like, so it's just kind of insane that you did that and caused all this confusion, all this nonsense. And then just like, oh, I'm back. Yeah, it's all good.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
Where's our money, bitch? Because people donated to that shit.
And they estimated that the city of Hoover and the state of Alabama spent like $1 million in resources as far as search parties and all of that old shit. And it's just like, man, what's wrong with you?
We got to feed these dogs. These search dogs.
They eat
Alpo. They eat real good.
What's the top end dog food? Canuba?
Oh, yeah, Eukanuba. Yeah.
They got to have chicken and rice every day.
Hey, Eukanuba, $88 a bag. That shit is expensive. Seriously, she started buying food from the dog. The food come chilled. Hey, I said, what in the
Dog's eating better than us at this goddamn point.
She made the dog a smoothie the other day. Because she liked the little pup cups from Starbucks.
Yeah.
So she made her a little doggy smoothie and shit. I'm in the bed wall here. The dog out there tearing that shit. Shut up.
I pull up to my man crib the other day. He getting a damn Chewy delivery. The box bigger than him. He like 5'5". The box bigger than him.
We get the farmer's dog. It's like they do different. She like, I got her turkey meals. I got her beef. I'm just like, yo, man, back in the day, the dog got whatever the fuck we ain't finished at Old Country. Like, this shit is crazy.
Get down on them bones. Get some of them gizzards in your system.
Yo, dog, like, place I work out the county where I was down there at this site. Like way out, like out 401.
Okay, yeah. I've been out there.
It's a dog retreat. So it's like a day spa. They got like classes for the. I'm just like, yo, and it's mad cars in the parking lot, which means people are here.
Like, deep as shit for the doggy daycare. Doggy spa.
Dog, they had a little pool in the back for the dogs to chill out. Yo, this is crazy as shit. Like, yeah, man, people love they fucking dogs now. Straight up.
But yeah, Carlee Russell's a clown, like I said last
Straight
week.
Clown.
I don't necessarily want her to go to jail, but I do want her to be held accountable in some sort of way. You definitely got to get her bread back, first and foremost.
The bread got to go back.
The bread got to come back. You know what I'm saying? The bread got to come back. You got to make a full public fucking confession if you don't want to go to jail. And I want to know where the fuck you was at.
I'm with that. Like, that should be her punishment.
That should be enough.
Give the bread back, apologize, and tell us where the fuck
you was at and what you was doing.
Straight up.
You was cheating on your nigga, then everybody gonna know you a cheating ass hoe. You know what I'm saying? But we got to get to the bottom of this shit.
If you needed a mental break, cool.
Yeah, they got retreats in Arizona, Utah.
Got the doggy retreat. I get it. Sometimes you need a getaway.
I need a mental break right now. I'm not gonna go and get missing and have Matt and Kev looking for me.
Yeah. I seen a toddler on 95, and I'm just not around for 2 days. It's not gonna happen.
Doesn't work that way.
And I got kidnapped. They gave me some cheeses. You know what I mean?
Took me to Rita's, surprisingly. That was weird.
I like Rita's because they use the fruit in the water.
You can taste it right there.
You can taste the fruit in the water. Like, stupid shit. It's just dumb, man. It's just a dumbass thing. My y'all weird of the week. Bronny James had a cardiac arrest.
Yes, he did.
In the past week.
Prayers up for Bronny and the entire James family.
He's doing a lot better. LeBron posted a video of him playing the piano. He's back home. You know, he's like back being his normal self. I get it. A lot of people don't like LeBron James for whatever the fuck reason. LeBron James has been in the public light since he was essentially 16 years old.
Absolutely. I met him when he was 15.
Like, beating out that ABCD camp, what's the guy, Lenny Cook? Mm-hmm. It catapulted him into the national spotlight, and he never looked back. And, you know, I was reading the bio. They had the thing on the other day where it said it. He's widely regarded as one of the greatest basketball players ever, often compared with Michael Jordan for the GOAT.
Right.
That's what it is now. It's him and Jordan. Mm-hmm. I get it. There are Jordan stans who don't like their favorite being challenged or
Correct.
anything. Because that's all this shit really
Yeah.
is about. I don't give a fuck what level you make it to. I don't give a fuck what your bank account says. I don't give a fuck how many championships are in or not in the trophy case. I don't give a fuck. Certain shit is just like, if you making jokes or talking down on certain things, you just a weirdo.
Yeah, you the problem.
Period. You're just a clown. And again, I learned at a young age, is certain things you just don't play with. You don't play with a man's wife. You don't play with a man's mama. You don't play with a man's children. That's
And his money.
That's, yeah, but niggas let you play with that, because I seen niggas get robbed and not do that. That's just like, Bronny is his firstborn son.
Yes.
Who suffered
His namesake.
who suffered a cardiac arrest while playing the basketball, the game he loves, for the school he's about to start playing for and going to for college. To see people on the internet with this, oh, he sacrificed this, it's just like, come on, bro.
Yeah, Jason Whitlock was big on that, and I'm just like, again, like,
Bruh.
and it's like
It happened twice this week because it went on with Gilly and his son.
Yeah.
And it's just like, bruh.
We're missing, like in the name, like, number one, shout out to Kev Harden Jr. I can't thank you enough, because you coined the phrase, everybody's clout chasing.
Oh, okay.
And it applies in all these different situations. And in the name of clicks, views, and interactions on content, people will say the most heartless, the most gut-wrenching, the most disgusting things just to draw traffic to their weak-ass fucking YouTube channel. And the fact that y'all just don't have no humanity for essentially a child, he's 18 years old, don't have any humanity for a child because of the fact that you hate his father so much. Like, that just goes to show where we are in society, where we've completely, by just letting people do whatever the fuck they want and have so much civil liberty, we've just removed shame from the equation. We've removed true backlash. We've removed true consequences from the fucking equation, because these guys don't fear somebody slapping the dog shit out of them for having some crazy shit to say on the internet. They like, oh, I'm here, they there. What's the chances we gonna run into each other? I don't leave the crib. So they feel protected in order to be able to say the most egregious shit ever about a situation where a fucking child is involved. In both cases, in Gilly's case and in LeBron's case. And they're both terrible situations for two totally different reasons. And the fact that grown-ass men, grown-ass black men don't have any empathy for other black fathers in the name and in the face of a tragedy just goes to show how fucked up our society is.
Like, my first reaction when I saw it was like, oh, no. Like, that was I was like, wait, what the fuck? Like, because, again, I've dealt with health problems.
Right.
I know I have cardiomyopathy. I know what the fuck it's like to go in there and them say, yeah, you know your heart ain't beating the right way.
Right.
I know what it's like to go in there and them say, yo, you know you have high blood pressure that's extremely high. We're putting you on lisinopril.
Right.
I know what that shit is like. Where it's like, people don't dig it. I've had moments in life where, like, when I was carrying the most weight, I can remember my chest tightening up and not really understanding why, where I'm just like, and then when I found out about the cardiomyopathy, and I'm like, all right, that makes total sense.
Yeah, heart working overtime.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know, we at times can just like live life where we don't really think about these things. You know, black men in health is already a very, very skewed conversation, you know, but going through a cardiac arrest at 18 years old when you are essentially in like great health.
Yeah, the picture of health, really.
Like, that's some
An elite athlete.
That's some scary ass shit. And for LeBron, where you can't even detach and just go be a father, just go be a husband, where it's like, if that happens to anybody we know who works at my depot or works here or works for this, you know, you just kind of go and be a father and be a husband and be there for your family. But it's like, I got to turn around and see y'all weirdos talk. Like, let's just call it what it is. I'm the most successful nigga to ever play this game. In this game.
Yeah.
In this game, no one ever made $1 billion in this game
In
while
real
they were
time.
playing.
Yeah, in real
That's
time.
never happened.
Yeah.
I'm the most successful nigga. I made Rich Paul the biggest agent in fucking sports. Yeah. That's my man.
I made Maverick a fucking studio executive.
You understand what I'm saying? Bronny and Bryce are both going to the league and doing whatever the fuck they want.
Yep.
Zori can haul off and do some interior design, whatever the fuck. I'm a billionaire. They got a building on Nike campus with my name on it. I'm still playing this game.
Yeah.
I don't need to sacrifice no fucking, like, the notion that that's just, like, somebody did it last night with the Spence shit. No, this is some illusion. It's just like, bro, I wish that shit would stop.
And here's the thing. And here's the lack of empathy, because he's already sacrificed.
Bruh.
He already didn't grew up without his father. He already lived in a fucking a C-level city, you know what I'm saying, in Akron, and grew up in the fucking, essentially in like apartment complex that's equivalent to a projects in most fucking city and all of that shit. Not necessarily having the best family structure and all of that old shit. Like, he's already fucking sacrificed. He's already gone through the media rigmarole of having all of this fucking intense pressure put on him since he was 15 fucking years old and beaten every single fucking odd.
That Illuminati shit bothers me so fucking much, because you want to know the craziest part of all this shit is? Black success is so detrimental to like people's mind state that black success fucks up black people.
Yep.
For all the shit we want when it comes to these other races and these other people,
speak on it.
Black people are more thrown off by black success than anybody else.
Because it shows people. The reason why people fucking try to diminish black success and try to chalk it up to like some Illuminati or devil worship shit, because it shines a light on their life that they didn't necessarily make the most of the opportunities that they have.
The Beatles came here and took over. That shit was straight called the British invasion.
Yeah.
They straight took over American music. No Illuminati. Bruce Springsteen down in Cape May. Nigga, I was born in the USA. 72 million records. So did not join the Illuminati shit. None of that. Jay-Z came along, and Jay-Z was getting money. Jay-Z had the Lex with a platinum Prezi and a bulletproof vest, and niggas like, oh, Jay fucking, Jay really get money. Jay came out as a billionaire. Niggas was like, hold the phone.
What the fuck is going on?
Hold the phone.
Yeah.
Jay said it. Niggas couldn't do nothing with me. They put the devil on me. Yeah. I'd have preferred niggas to squeeze the metal on me. Thoughts is Lucifer. I don't know who to trust. Whole world with my demise. Turn the music. Like, dog, like, it's unbelievable to see it.
Yeah,
where
black
it's like,
people are definitely the most frightened by black success.
We're petrified by the shit. So whenever you have that, it's like these whole things where it's like, no. Tragedy happens. Juvenile daughter really died. That's a real live tragedy. OJ's kid drowned years ago in the pool. Tragedies happen, bro.
DeVito's son just died, drowned in a pool.
Did you see LeBron's? I mean, not LeBron. Was it LeBron? Somebody's chef just died.
Obama's chef.
Obama's chef. Yeah. Like tragedy happens, bro. We live in a city where did you see a 2-year-old? Rest in peace to that young kid. The 2-year-old got shot by accident the other day on 20. Yeah. Tragedy happens. So it's like, to see tragedy happen and people just are like, oh yeah, it's fucked up. But then when it happens for somebody, it's like, yeah, you sacrifice. And it's just like, can we cut that shit out?
Sacrifice for what?
Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know when he sacrificed? When he didn't have a carb for a whole season.
Exactly.
That was a sacrifice, nigga.
Yeah, when he didn't fucking go out every Friday and Saturday because he was somewhere training. When he fucking had to make up for all of the different social cues that he may not have had later on as a teenager because he sacrificed in order to be able to be in a position to go to the NBA at 17.
If you watch the Redeem Team documentary, LeBron and them Melo and them was like, yeah, we out partying, we coming from the club. He's like, we coming from the club. Kobe like lacing his shit up because it's like 4 a.m. Yeah. And Kobe like, y'all niggas done? And they like, yeah, like, what you want, practice? And Melo was like, Kobe went down there and practiced by himself. But he was like, what happened was the next day we went out, and instead of hanging out till 4 a.m, Chris Paul and Dwayne Wade was like, yo, I'm going to take it in because I want to get up with Bean and go work out. Right. He's like, the next day at 4 a.m, it was Kobe and Dwayne Wade and Chris Paul. The next day, Bron and, Carlos Boozer was like, yo, I'm going to get in the bed. He's like, in a week, nobody was going out to party. Everybody was getting up at 4 a.m. to go work out with Kobe. And it's just like, yeah, nigga, sometimes you sacrifice to get like, and people just, the thing is, black people almost at times don't believe in work and hard work. No, and excruciating work.
A bunch of niggas playing lottery and trying to hit fucking FanDuel for $1 zillion. You think they believe in work? Fuck no. We're our harshest critics on every end. We overly criticize ourselves when we don't got shit, and we overly criticize ourselves when we break fucking barriers and crack through the glass ceiling and have everything.
Yep.
All niggas reserve the right to do is talk shit. Yeah. That's niggas got that shit down. Niggas talk shit better than anybody on earth. Can't no British motherfucker, can't no Australian motherfucker. Can't nobody hang with niggas when it come to talking shit. Jonesing, bidding, fucking being in niggas' business, spilling the tea. Niggas got fucking talking shit down to a science.
It's funny because I was having a conversation the other day and I was saying how I've tried to limit my interaction with people through me just like being more self-sufficient with shit. So I get a lot of compliments on my beard now. I do it myself.
Right.
And there are times where when I know I'm going to do something, I'll get like, I get it done basically from like Marley like once every 4 months, like once a quarter, just to keep the framework. But I'm like the week, I trim it up myself, and I've gotten pretty good at it. And I saw one of the barbers from the old shop I used to go to the other day. He's like, "Damn, dog, where you been at? We ain't seen you in a minute." And I'm just like, "Yeah." He was like, "Your beard." He was like, because he saw my beard. He was like, "Damn, who cutting you? Because your shit look kind of." I'm like, "Oh, I do it myself." He's like, "Bullshit." I'm like, "No, really, I do it myself." And he was like, "Damn, what you getting your license to cut?" I'm like, "Nah, to be frank, I got sick of being in there with y'all." You know what I'm saying? He was just like, damn. I'm like, no offense, but it's only but so many times I can come in here and really go down the rabbit hole of, damn, so you really think Draymond Green would have been able to score on James Worthy? I can't. This is pointless.
All right, Spud Webb versus Muggsy Bogues.
And I went to the shop where it was like, it was younger barbers and them older barbers. And you know them older barbers is like
that generational clash.
So let me get this straight. You really trying to tell me 21 Savage could hang with MC Shan? And you just like, I don't know, man.
Because if you ask me, Mo D lighting all these niggas up.
Can I just get it faded in the back, please? I just want to get out of here.
You sitting in the chair being quiet there, tapping your brain. Hey, what you think? Let me run it to you because we were talking about this 9 days ago. You know what I'm saying?
Dog, I used to walk in the shop. You ever walk in the shop and get this one? Oh, bet Matt here. Matt, listen. So check this out. You got you producing a track, right? You get any 3 artists on the track: DMX, Ice-T, and give me motherfucking. I'm gonna go Melly Mel. Who you think gonna have the best verse? You just like, man, I ain't even getting this motherfucker good.
So boom, R-rated Rugged Man, Red Man, and Method Man walk into a bar. It's like, all right, man.
Yo, dog.
Can we not?
Dog.
Can we not? That's why I like going to Molly because it's just
one seat.
One seat.
What they call it? A
suite.
One seat suite. That's it. Ain't nobody in this joint talking no nonsense. I don't want to hear this shit.
I've said it on the show before and I want to say it again. My day-to-day goal is avoidance of niggas. All I do every day is try to figure out ways to create economies of scale for myself to where I don't have to ask niggas to do shit for me.
I walked in the barbershop when I would never forget this shit. I walked in there and one of Feet old homies that like one of the people he worked with was in the chair and he knew me through him or whatever. And they was talking football. And it was the Eagles Cowboys shit was getting ready to like the game, because that's the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Eagles and Cowboys. They was just going back and forth. Just man, had Ray Rhodes never took over. We would have won more Super Bowls, and Ricky Waters was better than what he got credit for. All of that shit, and they just going down the. And I'm just sitting there just waiting for G to get his chair open or whatever. And the bull hauled off and was like, yo, ain't you a Cowboys fan? To me. And they like, oh, yeah, Matt, you a... I'm just like, yo, if this nigga wasn't a cop, I'd knock his fucking teeth out of here. And they just bombarded me with all this Cowboy Eagles nonsense. I'm just like, yo, I hate
niggas love banter.
Dog, they love it. They live for this shit.
And the biggest part, about all of this pointless banter and all of that shit is we never come to one accord.
No one ever gets to the end and be like, you know what? You right.
I didn't look at it that way.
The best defensive player of all time is Lawrence Taylor. I thought it was Deion, but you right.
You made some amazing arguments.
You know what? I'm cool with that because that's never the argument. That's never it. That's never it.
It's always about who you like versus who somebody else is like.
No, the argument is so you trying to tell me that Deion Sanders ain't better than Sheldon Brown? Like, it be stupid shit like that. We're like,
Prime Bobby Teller is getting Deion out of here. The other 21. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, and you be like, how did this even start? Like, how'd y'all get on this? No, because he had said Johnny Unitas was the best quarterback ever. And I'm like, how you got him over Randall Cunningham? You're like, Randall Cunningham? What the what? Like, that shit be crazy, man. It'd be absolutely insane.
Johnny Unitas.
But you absolutely right. People love to talk shit, and they reserve their right to talk shit
About anybody. About everybody.
About any and everybody.
Tasha K just got her ass sued to death for talking shit. Just making shit up. Oh, this bitch ain't got nothing to say to me. She ain't gonna respond to what I'm saying. All right, bet I'm just gonna talk about this hoe. Like,
I love Cardi B too, man.
Cardi B is fucking amazing, man.
I can't wait to sit down with her. Cardi is excellent. You see her throw the mic at the girl in the crowd there? I love it.
Yeah, she like she was on the Hunger Games.
Don't throw nothing at me.
Nothing.
Don't ever throw anything at me. Because if you throw something at me and I'm holding anything, I'm throwing whatever. I don't give a fuck if it's a brick. I'm throwing this shit dead
Acme
at
and Co.
you.
Anvil.
Dog,
That shit is coming right at your face.
We live in this weird society where it's like people think they can just do and say whatever.
People think that celebrities are like community property. They think that they own them. Like they think that like, you here, perform for me, bitch. I came to see you. I'll do whatever. And it's like, no, it doesn't work that way.
No, the fuck you will not. You will get hit with something hard, quick. Don't play around with me, yo. Like,
in a different person, a sexy red would have jumped in the crowd on your ass. Like, she'd have jumped at you with the fucking
remember
mic.
our show in Brooklyn? The chick was drunk and kept screaming. You remember it got to that point where I was just like, yo, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, stop. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, you not part of the show.
Dog, shut up. Like there's nothing else. Shut the fuck up. Like, interact, laugh, and be part of it. But it's like you screaming over top of it. Like, that shit ain't cool. Stop. Like, people had this thing where it's just like, who gonna check me?
Yeah, somebody gonna check you.
Somebody gonna check you. You don't get checked.
Yeah, somebody gonna check you eventually.
Yeah, you do this shit like some Nikes. You gonna get checked. But yeah, man, salute to Bronny, man, for being better. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully that's not an issue that continues, you know, because that can drastically alter a career. Sure. You saw Shaq's son was like, you know, people don't understand because, you know, Shaq's son had a situation like, that shit is scary, man. Like, you know, you don't want to be out there on the floor and just faint or what like that. That's, you already got enough to worry about with bodily injury.
Exactly.
You know, just like your joints and your muscles and your tendons and shit. So it's like to know that there might be an inside issue because you can't see and feel that until it's too late. That's some scary shit, man. And like I said, like people had this thing where I think because we're so fucked up by money in this country that we look at money as the end all be all and be like, oh, if you rich, ain't no problems. And
it's still a problem.
And you know, sometimes money can't save everything. If that young boy went into cardiac arrest and then went into a fucking coma, yeah, you'd be able to hire the best medical staff and the best surgeons, this and the third, but there's no money that's going to keep that heart pumping.
Exactly.
So,
and it ain't no guarantee he's going to recover.
And it straight up. So understand that part of it, like the human part of just, yo, I'm dealing with a son who's dealing with a serious issue right now. Cool the fuck out. But of course, these people not going to cool out because they're on the internet and they psychos.
Pieces of shit. They get to hide behind anonymous profiles and, you know, in innuendo and all this shit and just say the most egregious shit to people. And when confronted in real life, they lose, whether it be a physical fight, some sort of, you know, confrontation or whatever, or in Tasha K's case, a fucking literal lawsuit. Like, they lose every time because you're operating on parameters of, like, internet culture when life still exists. Like, rules and regulations and laws still exist. And motherfuckers think because I'm breaking a law on the internet that I'm not breaking a law. And it gives them this false like sense of security because most people aren't going to take the time to legally pursue you for some bullshit that you did online. Cardi B just so happened to have time. She got money. She got resources. She got a big ass conglomerate of Warner Music and Atlantic Music Group fucking behind her that's like, oh yeah, no, we're going to get to the bottom of this because you don't get to just damage my reputation and my standing as a woman. Fuck being an artist. As a woman for shits and giggles and clicks on your bum ass website.
Straight up.
You don't get to do that.
Speaking of damaged reputations.
Oh man. DJ RICO.
Yo, what the fuck is going on over there in Jersey? Is it in Jersey?
It's in Jersey, yeah. So DJ
thought.
Envy, for those of you that don't know, has been formally added to Cesar Pena's RICO case for allegedly taking $1.5 million that was supposed to be for a real estate development in Paterson, New Jersey. The 50-unit building on Taylor Street apartments in Patterson, New Jersey, literally never happened. The defendants who are pursuing the legal matter are Anthony Barone and Anthony Martini. They filed a lawsuit in New Jersey Supreme Court, so it's a civil RICO, and the pair are seeking compensatory, consequential, and punitive damages. So even though they lost $1.5 million of investment, they're seeking considerably more in this. And essentially, this is going to put Cesar Pena out of the real estate business, to potentially put DJ Envy out of the real estate business, because in addition to whatever this judgment is, the judge could say you can't, because of this civil RICO judgment, you cannot sell or be involved in real estate development and selling in New Jersey anymore.
Damn.
And it was
4 weeks ago, man.
Yeah.
You and Rick Ross was neck and neck. Let you tell it.
Yeah.
4 weeks later, Ross got a $20 million watch.
A $40 million plane.
Phantoms, a plane. God damn. Slow down, boss.
Yeah.
All right, dead ass.
Having a bad run, man.
Having a bad run.
And it's just one of them things.
Gunplay said they slap the shit out of you. Like, it's been a bad couple of weeks.
It's
man.
one of them things where fans of people, and when you go to different, like depending upon the venue in which a video or some content or whatever is uploaded, it's going to determine the comments and shit like that and how people overall feel about it. So it's like if there's something critical with DJ Envy and they upload it on the Breakfast Club channel, those fans, because they're fans of Envy, Charlotte, and the Breakfast Club, and they have equity and investment into this entity for 15 years, they're going to be more likely to be more understanding and give you the benefit of the doubt. Whereas if Rick Ross is uploading something on his motherfucking Instagram and it's all Ross fans and he's saying you a piece of shit, everybody in the comments is going to echo that you're a piece of shit. And I framed the beginning of this conversation that way in order to say Envy was almost like lulled into like a false sense of security and thinking that he was better off in this matter than he was, because technically I didn't take nobody's money, blah, blah, blah. But what you did was you amplified the message. You platformed it. You amplified the message of a fucking scammer. And this particular situation, all of the shit that Tony the Closer been unraveling on motherfuckers the last 8 months and all of that shit, all of this stuff is going to come to a head. And there's going to be even more of these coming down where you're going to see what I think is going to be a even bigger, and I'm not going to say their name because I'm not trying to wish that on them, but I just see the writing on the wall. You're going to potentially see an even bigger platform that's in the education, business coaching space and all of that shit that's platformed a lot of scammers start getting reeled into these motherfucking lawsuits because y'all are basically giving the stamp of approval. The USDA is there to say we approve the fucking manufacturing and the production of this food product for consumption by American citizens. Y'all are acting, in a sense, as a USDA type figure of a cosign, a stamp to say this motherfucker's good, they doing great financial services or event spaces, whatever it is, and y'all are putting y'all seal of approval on people without vetting them out. And the only reason why y'all putting y'all seal of approval on them is because they got the $25,000 or $30,000 to pay your ass to get on your platform. And all of that reckless business operation and business co-signing that niggas been doing the last 5 years is going to come to a head, and you're going to start seeing these lawsuits like this, these civil RICOs popping up every couple of fucking months.
Yeah, I was having a conversation the other day, and me and Lee was talking about, I'm just like, yo, the amount of like financial experts and financial wizards and real estate gurus and tax specialists and credit repair specialists, the amount of them that are on like the urban Instagram feeds is almost like teeth grinding. Like, why is it so much?
It's unbelievable.
It's really
if
unbelievable.
Everybody's coaching, who the fuck is the students? Who's buying?
Who's playing?
Y'all have had to have run out of people to buy this shit because all of y'all are coaches.
I saw some shit the other day that I peeped where it was just like, damn, she was coaching this field and now she out of that.
Yeah.
Like all of that is gone. And I'm just like, the why the fuck you like, the why the fuck you lying, Joe? Like, yo, like you gotta stop listening to this shit.
Yep.
I don't want to do no business with nobody on some, you selling the sauce on the Instagram timeline. I'm sorry. I know that sounds fucked up. I know people probably hear that and just like, damn, bro, I got my shit together over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I feel you. But no. Like, I know. Like, Robert Smith is not on there selling courses.
No, you know why? Because he's doing real fucking business.
That nigga's billions of dollars in. Yeah. He is never going to get on here and be like, come on, Neff, $4.99.
Just buy the course. Matter of fact, I'm going to send you a promo code. Give me $2.49.
Hey, we're going to have bagels.
Continental breakfast. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? 3 different kinds of cream cheese.
We're going to have some jam.
We're going to have regular Philadelphia cream cheese, too, the good stuff. We got regular, we got veggie, and we got some fruit-infused cream cheese.
Didn't your boys say get you jammed up like what we spread on toast? We're going to have some jam. We're going to have some motherfucking preserves.
Some jelly.
You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a good time, man.
Please.
Mimosa towers?
Buy the course.
Mimosa towers? I mean, you know.
Buy the course.
Got to liven it up a little.
Just buy the course. Beloved?
Beloved.
Just buy it. Please.
No. Roger Goodell ain't never doing no fucking CEO course.
I tapped out from,
ever.
I tapped out from all of the social media influencers selling courses and all that shit when I realized it was a group of niggas from all over the country. They was all selling the same course.
Jump. Yeah.
And I'm just like, wait a minute. Who did y'all buy? Who made the master file? Who did y'all buy this from? They all selling the same course, running ads, this and this and this, and then they splitting the proceeds. And I'm just like, this seems disingenuous because all of y'all can't be experts. Because when you are an actual expert in an industry, the information that you have is proprietary because you had to go through some form of certification, college, graduate school, advanced programming, stuff like that, weekend fucking seminars and this and this and this in order to become that specialized, in order to be able to command the type of dollar that the specialization of that industry commands. All you niggas did was sit on somebody's Zoom course for 90 minutes and now you all think you're specialists. And y'all are dumb as my dick. Like, y'all make horrible fucking decisions, a lot of you. And y'all get real, and you can tell that y'all are dumb because of the shit that y'all get caught up in. Like,
I be seeing so much shit that I just like, like I see the courses go on and I be like, nothing good is going to come from this. No. And you look up a year later and be like, no one took any of that information and did anything with it. Because there's no way. It just doesn't work like that,
I had a conversation with Bandman Kevin. I talked about this on the show before. I asked him, I said, yo, if you had $150,000, give me the top 3 investments of what you would. He's like, oh, man, you know, shit, damn, hold on a second. So, yeah, he's on another phone. He's like, so what was the question again? I'm like, $150,000, what would you do? Oh, man, you know, shit, I've been fucking with the cars and the Airbnbs, and I'm just like, this isn't advice. like, what the fuck?
This is just thoughts.
Yeah, these are just thoughts. Like this, you just spitballing. Like because you used to niggas getting on the phone with you and just asking you a bunch of bullshit. Yeah. Like, what was it like growing up in Chicago? You ever what happened to them old songs you had with Chief Keef? Like dumbass shit like that. And it's like, no, nigga, you supposed to be the credit guru and all this old shit. You got the sauce, cool. I paid $150 for this phone call. Give me some solid advice. I left from that call with nothing. I left with less than I came because I paid $150 to have this phone call.
Yo, you just blowing $100. Can I have $150? You just blowing $100.
He said he had the sauce. I'm like, all right, cool, bet. That nigga did not. He had no sauce. None.
You crazy. I told you with the John, I was going to do that course with the truck.
Yeah, that was $1,500.
$1,500. I talked to him on the phone. He explained what it is, and I explained where we was at. He was like, "Oh, you good to go?
Oh, you good to go? I mean, but keep it on the down. Don't go. Don't be telling nobody.
Don't tell nobody you good to go. Like, huh?
Still, put my fire up. No, give me a solid.
I'm looking at your gram. You counting five.
Put my fire.
Give me a solid. Put it in.
Look out for your boy. I'm telling you, crazy, I have one-to-one relationships or one-to-one interactions with a lot of these so-called gurus. These niggas are full of shit, man. Like, it's opportunity. And it's a lot of, like, hidden behind-the-scenes, like, help and programming and platforming that niggas is getting in order to appear bigger and smarter than what they are. Like,
I know several different quote-unquote experts in different fields. Most of them, pretty much all of them, and when I say all, I mean like 999 out of 1,000 aren't selling information on the internet. because they're doing the work.
Yeah.
Like how Nate came on here. Nate talked about the whole getting into the renting rooms and shit. Nate got like 15 cribs. He's renting rooms.
Yeah.
He's not selling shit other than rooms for $450.
You need a room?
You need a room? I can tell you that. But ain't no course because it's like, yo, you just kind of get a crib, fix it up, break it up into rooms, and then rent the shit out. Yeah. That's it. Like, you don't, like, a lot of this shit you don't even really need a course to even do or get into. How the fuck did you and me figure our credit out together just talking on this fucking show? You understand what I'm saying?
Because information is free and it flows in abundance. And if you know, most niggas are too late. Let's just call it what it is. The reason why education right now and courses and all and this guru shit is dominating the black community is because inherently they understand niggas are lazy. So what do? You sell niggas hope for a better future.
I realized how bad it was during that pandemic shit when motherfuckers was going and doing the PPP and
yeah.
What was the first one?
PUA.
Like when I saw people were charging people to do their PUA paperwork, I was just like, wait, what? I know motherfuckers that was running up tens of thousands of dollars doing people's PUA paperwork. And it was just like, you're that ridiculous to the point where you ain't even going to do the paperwork that's going to get you the stolen bread. Somebody going to help me.
Listen,
they're going to set up the flim flam.
One of my homegirls, her uncle was charging niggas $7,000 a pop.
Oh.
He charged his son $7,000 a pop. I'm going to get you this bread now. 7,000. Fuck around.
Get you this bread now.
Fuck around. You know what I'm saying? If you give me another 3,000, I teach you how to do it. Now you can go out charge niggas 7,000. And I'm just like, this is niggas. Like with niggas, information is passed from mouth to ear. Yeah. Like it's nothing tangible attached to it. Man, just sit down with me. I'll show you how to. I just you just gotta see. I can't really like if you ask me to write it out. I can't really.
You just gotta see.
Like if I had to put it in a PDF, that's law. That's done.
What's a PDF, nothing? Whatever.
Whatever. If I gotta put it on a file or something, I can't do that. But I just got the sauce. Somebody show me, I'll show you. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you just got to see it.
You see it, nigga. You see these bands, nigga.
That's real. You just got to see it.
That's niggas. You know what I'm saying? And it's like if more black people were willing to take the time and genuinely, if more black people were genuinely willing to invest the time that it takes to really research something, to really become educated on it, to go and see where these different free resources are and all of that. Like I said on the show a while ago, a couple years ago, there was a free NBA program on fucking Amazon through fucking whatever for dummies fucking program. They had a fucking free NBA program that you could take that was accredited, that counted. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I'm in the midst of fucking taking this digital marketing course through Google. It's $49 a month. You know what I'm saying? Through Coursera. And it's like, it take like 6 months to finish this fucking program. But at the end of it, I'll be SEO certified. I'll be SMO certified, search SEM certified, SEO certified, and I'll be fucking certified in Google advertisement and like Facebook fucking advertisement. You know what I'm saying? But it's like you gotta make small investments in yourself in order to have fucking better outcome on the other side of it. And when I have all of that information, that's gonna make the marketing better, more robust for TRPE. And I can fucking go do gig work for other people, charge them $100 an hour to fucking do SEO and shit like that for their YouTube channels and all of that old shit, which I'm already doing it, but I would be doing so now from an expert point of view.
When I was speaking to a girl, she was talking about the personal trainer shit. You remember when personal trainer blew through the fucking roof? And she was saying how she got with an Herbalife personal trainer, and she's like, I got literally nothing out of it. Like, he didn't know anything. And I'm like, yeah, because being a personal trainer, you have to really understand, like, neurology. You have to understand the way the body works, the way the body reacts to the brain. You have to the way the body reacts to rest and all. It's a lot of things you have to learn. Like, a real live personal trainer is certified in several different things.
Kinesiology, usually.
Kinesiology. You have to learn that shit. And I'm like, the Herbalife shit for what it is it's milkshakes. I'm like, you was running around working out with Ronald McDonald. Like, the people have this thing where it's like, I see it in front of me all day on this here phone. It's got to be good. Yep. And then you jump out there and you realize where it's like, damn, this motherfucker doesn't know anything. Or this person doesn't know anything. This bitch don't know nothing. A lot of people have never even faced real, like we bringing the show full circle, faced a difficult situation that you had to get yourself out of. A lot of these people doing hair have never had a situation where the client in front of them got burned or the hair fell out or any. You doing nails and somebody. I saw a situation where a girl got glue in her eye doing the lashes. Damn. What do you do? Yeah. I'm gonna pour some peroxide on it. Watch out now.
That can't be seen.
Like, a lot of people don't know what to do with a lot of these situations because they never really did it or lived it. It's easy to get online and tell somebody, yeah, no, this is how you tear it up doing trucking. But it's like, have you ever been out there? Do you know what the fuck it's like when you get into these other places? Do you know what it's like coming through mountain terrain? Do you know what it's like going down a 14% down? A lot of people
Do you know what your exposure is in a vicarious liability state? Shit like
Bruh,
that. Like, all
what
of
happens when you have damage that exceeds a certain amount of hundreds of thousands to where you're not covered through the company no more? It goes after you. It's a lot of shit that people don't know because they just never did it. They never lived it. But it's easy to get online and just be like, no, this is how you do it. Follow this and do the course. And baby girl, you going to listen.
Not how you do it.
You see the Chanel, like, you see the G-Wagon keys, don't you? Like, that's it.
Yeah,
I saw a girl go to the Mercedes-Benz dealership and take pictures in front of a G-Wagon to post online.
Yep.
So where the dealership came out and was like, she did not buy that
She
car.
brought her own bow, her
She
own flowers,
bought
and her own
roses.
champagne.
She brought roses and champagne to the dealership. Ain't look, come on.
Get about 30. Quick frame it.
Oh, yeah. One of them soccer cameras. Yeah.
Like you shooting Lionel Messi.
Yeah, straight up. Yeah, man, it's just done such a number on us, man. It's so bad.
But mark my words, this DJ Envy case is not going to end well. And like I said, there's going to be a lot more of these civil type RICOs and shit like that, and some of that shit is going to lend itself to criminal RICOs if a judge determines that you you violated actual laws or whatever the case may be. So like this education space and this content guru space and all that shit that a lot of people are gravitating to right now is dangerous. People need to be very, very careful about vetting these people out and who they glean information from. And just blindly trusting what these people said. Him 500 had that situation on what's the name, but he got jammed up on big facts, fucking telling people to commit bank fraud, like shit like that. Like,
it's a lot of people I know around this city I would never have on here just because there's no point, one, and two, I don't know you.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna be.
It's funny because the other day somebody hit me up on like a, hey, don't you know this person? I'm like, no, I don't know nobody. What's up? Like that's how I am now. Yeah. I don't know none of these
If I don't
niggas.
be with you majority of throughout the week, if we don't talk multiple times a week, I don't know these niggas.
No, I don't know. Fuck no. Remember, fuck no. I don't know that nigga. What's up?
Oh, no.
No. Because I'm not about to be like, oh yeah, he cool. And then you haul off and fuck him, and then the next thing you know, he on your porch in a diaper at 2 a.m. doing some crazy shit. Listen, I don't know these niggas, man. Seriously. If it ain't you, Jules, Rod, like niggas I know where it's like, I know where you at.
Right.
You see how yesterday we didn't even talk, but I knew where you was at?
Yeah.
And I came, how was the joint yesterday? Oh, that shit was cool. We didn't talk yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But I know where the fuck you at. I know where Kev was at last night. I know where Dunbar was at. I know where motherfuckers is at.
Yeah, if I can't account for your whereabouts.
You could be anywhere. You could be on somebody's porch in a diaper. Like, I'm not. Fuck no. I don't know him, sis. You on your own. No. Because, I'm like the what they call it, a trusted source.
Trusted source. Yeah, trusted. Yeah, yep.
So people will look at me and be like, hey, don't you know this guy? Because he be at the events.
Hey, let me ask you something. Your bullshit meter's pretty high. What do you think about this nigga?
Yeah, bullshit. Complete and utter.
Bullshit.
Complete and utter. Leave me out of that. Seriously.
Let the caveat emptor. Let the buyer beware.
Let the buyer beware, nigga. How you doing about that? Straight up. Because I've just gotten to a point where I don't know. And because I don't know, you on bullshit. Yeah. That's just how I view it. You understand?
Yep.
Like, I see people all the time, and it's just like, oh, what bullshit they done did. And I find that they ain't bullshit. I be like, okay.
Good for them, man.
Yeah, good for them.
Out here living a pious life.
Because I just don't know. So you know when stories come out that somebody did some crazy shit to somebody, people be like, what? I be like, yeah, I can see that.
Vince Staples said something like that before. Vince Staples said, he said, I come from a place, he said, I'm from Northside Long Beach. He said, I come from a place where it ain't no surprises. It ain't no, I can't believe it happened. You know what happens? Oh, that's crazy. Oh, such and such did such and such, the whoop, such and such. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. Oh, such and such broke in a whoop-de-whoop and stole the whoop-de-whoop. That's crazy. Like, he's like, I'm not surprised by none of this shit.
None of this shit. No. And I said, I'm one of them people where just because I'm a straight shooter, I guess. Like
Yeah.
I don't play around like that. So I don't really have time. So, you know, people look at me and be like, yo, what do you think of it? Like, but I always get that because so many people know me and know like of me and shit like that. And I just be like, listen, I don't know that nigga. You know what I'm saying? I just don't. I know who he is.
Yeah.
He seem all right. He could be a serial killer. I don't know.
Yeah, and I definitely don't know what it's like to date this crazy.
I've never fucked him, so I have no clue what the fuck. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of cereal he likes. I damn sure don't know if he kills Cereal Lee. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like, but you remember at one point in life, you would just be like, oh, yeah, that's my man. And then you find out, like, oh, yeah, he done fucking sexually assaulted a whole gymnasium worth of chicks at the gym downtown. You're just like, what the fuck? Like, no, I don't know anyone.
Yeah, don't associate me to nobody you don't see me with on a regular basis.
No, because I don't want to be subpoenaed
Please
for
and
nothing.
yeah, please and thanks.
No. Matt his man. No, he not. I'm cool. Straight up. Real. I kind of want to talk about new music for a second before we get out of here. Have you gotten into the Trav album yet?
Not really.
It has good sound.
Yeah.
It sounds really...
like I said, I heard about 3 to 5 songs. I can't remember what the number was. I've listened to Meltdown ad nauseum. I've listened to that about a good
Meltdown is really good.
Yeah.
I like the voice that Drake was doing on there.
Yeah.
That like, you scared of the 6, nigga. Like, he did that on Her Loss on the They Know Where to Go. They know where to go. They say I'm alone at the top. They say that whatever the fuck whatever song that was. Broke Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did that kind of flow on there. And I like when he does that shit. He was running Meltdown and shit.
And the track with Samfa on there where they did the transition, that joint is hard. Hyena is dope. That's the opening song. Yeah. It's some really good songs on there. Travis Scott is smoking shit though.
I mean, it's Trav.
124 million Spotify streams in one day, which is the 5th highest all time. Right now they're saying he's on pace to sell 245 to 275 just based off streaming estimates. That doesn't include physical sales and bundles. Which they bring the bundles back earlier this month or whatever like that. And he has like 40 different merchandise albums and 8 alternative album covers that are all for sale on his Travis Scott site or whatever. So I'm pretty sure he's probably going to push well above 500,000 units.
I think so.
Add all of that in. When you consider the fact that he sold, $1 million worth of merch at O2 Arena, his last big show that he had. So yeah, he's going to easily push over 500,000 units, which would just completely blow everything out the fucking wood.
Trav is like Jules. He got Beyonce in the album. I'm like, yeah, nigga, Trav is a superstar. They ran out of quarter pounders, my nigga. Like, we're not fucking around. Trav, like 10 people died and they want more fests. Like, nigga, like this is not for play. Trav is really that nigga, man. And I like the sound, like how we was talking about that Yeezus. Like, I like the way they produce a lot of his records and shit.
Even his back half of Meltdown, when the beat changed and all that, is you fucking crazy?
Is you fucking
crazy? He was smoking that shit.
I like it a lot. Like, I'm starting to get into the album more and more. I've been playing it a lot. I was in the gym today listening to it and shit. Like, I really, really enjoy it. Did you see the Weeknd show in Milan? Nigga, 160,000 people.
More than all 3 days of Coachella.
I didn't see that. But yeah, they said it was like the largest turnout like of ever for 160,000. Just putting it in perspective. Someone comes here and does the Link. The Link has 70,000 seats. That's for a football game.
Right.
On a concert, they have to clip it to get the stage in certain places.
You lose a portion.
So you lose like 12,000. So realistically, the Link might be between 56 to 62. 60, I think the thing says 63 and a half.
Okay.
So it's like, essentially, you're talking about the Link almost 3 times over.
Right.
That's how many people was at a fucking con. That's crazy.
Yeah, The Weeknd is a big artist, man. He's got 100 million monthly listeners on Spotify. He's one of like, I believe a handful of people to do that shit. He has the highest grossing tour of all time right now. I'm sure Beyonce's tour is going to probably try to challenge or whatever. Yeah. Once all of her numbers is calculated and she's all the way through. But The Weeknd is a huge fucking artist, man.
Yeah,
huge.
Like straight up. When I saw 160,000, I was like, God damn, it ain't that many people in Milan.
Yeah. Yeah.
For to be that many people at
the whole Milan came.
Yo, the whole Milan. Yeah, we shutting down early tonight. Everything, cafes and shit. Like, yeah, we going to the weekend show. That's crazy as fuck. It's wild though, because the touring shit is so. Remember how we've talked about just how crazy it's been, where you got all these Weezy, Lil Durk, Lil Pump, Lil this person, that person, Papoose and Fab, and all it's a concert every week. It seems Drake about to have a joint. He about to have 2 here, I think. Like all of this Live Nation, they're up like
27%.
Yeah, almost 30% in the last quarter and shit.
27%.
I'm like, I can't believe it's not higher. To be all the way fair.
Yeah, so the press release said Live Nation Entertainment continued to profit from the red-hot live music market in the second quarter, beating earnings expectations with $5.6 billion in revenue, up 27.1% year-over-year, and coming in a whopping $680 million over expectations. The company generated earnings of $1.02 per share, which was 40 cents higher than expected. The financial results, which marked Live Nation's second strongest quarter ever, also saw the company's operating income rise 21% year over year to $386 million this quarter, while adjusting operating income was up 23% to $590 million, and operating cash flow came in at $491 million, a 41% increase. The earnings report continues an upward trend at the company, indicating that 2023 will again set a record in revenue for the concert promotion giant.
That might be one of the misses we had as far as investing.
Oh, yeah.
Coming out of the pandemic where everything was down, that should have been a joint. We just missed that, like investing in Live Nation.
Like they are smacking every metric. By minimum of 20%.
Because unlike commercial real estate, which we talked about the other day on Patreon, if you're not on Patreon, please get on the Patreon, patreon.com. And we had a lot of movement this past month.
A lot of movement.
But we talked about on Patreon the other day how commercial real estate is like dying, like as far as the skyscrapers. And you look at something like this where it's like, this is a totally different metric and market for business, where it's like, this isn't no building that we have to fill with work.
Exactly.
This is venues that we have to fill with people who want to get the fuck out after they've been in the house working all fucking week. This is easy money.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we just missed that one.
And something smart that Live Nation did a few years ago that people don't necessarily know is they went from being an infrastructure company to being a real estate company. And Live Nation owns the majority of the buildings that they're in because their total cost of operation was driven down by just fucking taking the time to just acquire the spaces or literally build spaces where like the Fillmore and shit like that. That's like a Live Nation driven thing where it's like, yo, there aren't enough mid-sized venues in this country that aren't operated by AEG, who's our biggest competitor. We don't want to give them any more money, so fuck them. We'll go and build venues in the same markets that they're in. Call it the Fillmore, which is the legendary Fillmore Theater in San Francisco and all of that shit. Call it the Fillmore, and it'll fill anywhere between that 2,000 to 4,000 person void or whatever in all these different markets. And then you got Silver Springs, Maryland. You got Philly. You got Detroit. You got a brand new Fillmore in San Francisco. Shit like that. And they put these venue initiatives together, and they bought the TLA. They have First Right. They got like a 99-year contract at the Mets, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Different stuff where it's like, yo, they're really, really hands-on with the business of plug and play on all of these different shows and shit.
Yeah, man, it is interesting to see just how hard the live arena show aspect came back. Yeah. Like where you got Beyonce's about to do her biggest tour ever. Weeknd's just done his biggest tour ever. Drake is smashing shit right now with 21.
Drake just did 7 shows in New York. He did 3 in Brooklyn and 4 at Madison Square Garden.
He does that every time, though. Yeah. Like last time he did it, he was like that. He did 9 in California last time. 3 in LA, 3 in...
So when you juxtapose like a Drake show, which again is all over the country, they're doing 54 dates, Steven Espinoza said. They're doing 54 dates, including that 7 in New York. And you could sell that out essentially every night. But then you have this quote-unquote mega fight that doesn't even sell out the fucking live gate, and this is a one-time only thing for all we know. You know what I'm saying? That just goes to show you the popularity and the overall brand equity of a Drake versus the field. Like, fuck other music artists. Like, let's just look at the field of live entertainment, period. Other combats, add in combat sports, all of that shit. And it's like, this nigga could sell out 7 shows in the New York Metro, and these niggas couldn't even sell out 1 boxing match.
I think it goes back to what I said about boxing in general. Like, it's all kind of like trashy and slutty. Like the aesthetic of being there, where it wasn't like that back in the day.
It was elegant.
Yeah, there was like, and not saying that there wasn't, you know, the mafia, but even that, the mafia and all of that shit, like, it was just like a higher level of like brashness and arrogance coming. It was, Jay-Z said it. I'm at the Tyson fight same night. One of us cats ain't playing right. Like, it was a thing to step out to fight night, like your best fucking suit on and that's not what it is now. Niggas is in the joint rumbling, smoking weed all fucking night. That shit probably a headache to motherfuckers. Seriously.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that for every fight fan that they've onboarded, they've probably lost 2.
And then you got to factor in the fact that like a Drake show or a Beyonce show or a Weekend show is going to bring out so many kids, so many young people, so many teenagers. They're not going to no boxing.
Yeah, it expands the demographic.
Yeah, the demographic just opens up so fucking much.
Yeah.
And then in that case last night where Rob pointed out, if you got 2 black fighters, you don't even got no motherfucking what they call it, soldiers following the leader aspect.
Exactly.
Like when Triple G pulls up, all of them pull up. When Canelo pull up, all of them pull up. Yeah. It ain't like that for black fighters because like we just talked about in this show, black people can't stand black success. So it's like, yeah, it's like, you know how many niggas I used to hear say shit like, man, I just want to see Floyd lose. Yeah. I'm not
because
joking.
it'll make them feel better about their bum ass life.
And you ask motherfucker, why you want to see him lose? I just think he do like too much. Like, why the fuck you buying all them cars? What, nigga?
What does it got to do with his boxing acumen? His skills in the ring, you fucking idiot.
Jay Leno got a whole show now behind. Dude, I was watching Jay Leno's Garage. Do you know he got 2? Because you know he's in the motors. He got 2 of the first motors ever made. Like, you know, Carl Benz made the first motor wagon, right? He has 2 of the first motors, which are like axle spinning wheel motors. He got them like in his garage. Both they're huge. They're like 12 feet tall and like 14 feet wide. And he's got them to where they're running now off of pure oil because back in the day, the thing about it was the 1800s when they first built them. The way they used to grease them up was they would kill a pig and rub the pig skin as like lubricant over the joint. So he's like changed everything and polished it up to where now he has like oil reserves on both of them, but they just constantly run in his joint. He's like, yeah, they're both priceless. And I'm just like, this is the type of shit Jay Leno do. Right. And you ain't hear nobody like, I can't wait till this pussy off the air. Corny ass jokes.
They begged him not to leave. Please don't leave. You don't know what the fuck we gonna do.
Dog. So, yeah, at the end of the day, that's the reason why that shit went like that. Yeah, straight up and down. The
couple other pieces of new music. It's a bunch of Philly people that dropped. I want to give them shout outs too. We don't really cover a lot of Philly music on the show, but Tor put out an album.
Shout out Tor.
All I Wanted Was Everything. Shout out to Tor. Tor album is
TRPE alumni.
Yeah, I did like probably like 6 or 7 songs, and Tor album is all that. Leaf Ward Rated R album is out. And Cy Mosquiat, TRPE alumni, 2-time TRPE alumni. His Albert Son EP/LP is out right now also. So if y'all on any streaming sites, add that to y'all music count. Make sure y'all download, stream, and listen to that. And then Offset and Cardi B put out a single, Jealousy, the other day. This shit is smoking YouTube. They already had 6 million views in 3 days.
Oh, I haven't heard it yet.
It's not a good song.
Yeah, I'm not really there for their music together.
It's not a good song, but it's doing numbers.
Before we get out of here, I want to share a story with you.
Okay.
I saw this the other day on the Rolex Reddit. And I thought you'd get a kick out of this. The guy says, I'm out. Right?
I like it. I like the energy.
That's the title. I'm out. It's all a scam, in my opinion. He says, I've been on the waiting list for a blue platinum presidential 40 millimeter for a year. I've spent about $10K in jewelry for my wife during this time while waiting for the AD to call. I'm also watching Chrono 24. The AD told me they only get 1 allocation a year, and that usually goes to the owner's, parentheses, friends. Well, one was sold on June 12, 2023, and it popped up on Chrono for sale for $26K over the MSRP at a jewelry store down the street from the Rolex. This is in addition to multiple quote-unquote new watches that the AD sold, and they magically wound up in their estate section unused, fully stickered at 2 times MSRP when the market was on fire. How is this ethical that an AD can consign the same watch days after the sale by the same person is absolutely beyond me. What really boils my blood is that we are friends with a personal assistant who works for a local billionaire family. According to her, she can make any call on his behalf and get any watch in any metal with any dial combination at any time of the day. She does this several times a year for her employers. She literally showed me transcripts where she called in the same day, grabbed a watch with a specific dial, with a specific bezel. She says this happens all the time. She grabs the watch. She can call, drive over, grabs the watch, and it's on her employer's wrist before dinner. The watches that should be in the case for sale are all in the back of the store, she says. They just don't put them out so that they can basically force you into buying other things while you wait for the quote-unquote call. I'm out. I'd rather donate $65,000 to a homeless person or to a charity than play this stupid game. When the market does finally crash and all these flippers are left holding the bag and their dicks, I'm going to make multiple offers on watches $30,000 under MSRP and back out at the last second just to waste everybody's fucking time. But he said, there's no way in hell I'm handing an AD $70K for a watch after this nonsense.
I respect it.
I like the energy, man.
I like the energy. It's admirable as fuck. Essentially, we talked about watches a lot over the last 2 years, man. And just essentially, the biggest problem is that the ADs themselves, because Rolex doesn't have any official sales channels. Rolex does there. You can't go on Rolex.com and buy a Rolex. Rolex doesn't have a partnership with Hodinkee where you go to Hodinkee.com and buy a Rolex or whatever. So essentially, they've made it to where the ADs are the final frontier when it comes to distribution of product and shit like that.
They're the first and last line.
The first and last line of defense. So it's one of them things where it's like there's been so much contraction in the watch market as far as retailers and all that shit go because a lot of these fucking authorized dealers went out of business during the pandemic. Like Sidney Thomas is over. Like they don't have his fucking Sidney Thomas in what's the mall in Delaware? Christiana Mall no more. It's like a Rolex boutique. You know what I'm saying? So it's like now it's like, you know, essentially like the pandemic wiped out a lot of potential retailers and distribution channels and shit like that, where it's like as a buyer, you could kind of play one against the other. Like, oh yeah, such and such said that they had such and such. Can you get me this? Like, and because they trying to earn your business, and now it's flipped where it's like we're trying to earn the right to spend our money. Right. And people are just checking the fuck out. This is obviously a man of means. He said I spent $10,000 on jewelry while waiting to spend 65, 70 grand on a fucking watch. So this is obviously a person of means. He's friends with a fucking somebody that works for a billionaire, shit like that. So this is clearly an affluent person. And y'all are just turning off people so bad to where it's like, who's going to be there left to buy y'all fucking watches when it's all said and done? Who's gonna be the customer base? Who are y'all going after? Because all of the mega rich motherfuckers, they have everything already. All of the Dubai sheiks and the fucking Singapore energy people and all of that shit and the American tech billionaires, they have everything they want.
Straight up.
So they're going to be buying little shit sparingly here and there, but it's not going to be in droves where they're buying cases of watches like they were doing in the fucking pandemic, the early pandemic when everything dropped the fuck down. Like, they're not doing that shit. And to a larger point, we're not necessarily going to be able to recapture that down period of the market like it was from March 2020 to July of 2020. I don't necessarily know it's going to get back to that point, and I also don't necessarily know that we're going to be back to walking in fucking Boucher and the Rolex case is full of Rolexes. Like, I don't know what the fuck to make of this shit because so many games are being played with the distribution part of it, where Rolex is saying we heard your demands, we upped our production. We went from 800,000 units in 2020 to 1 million units in 2021 to 1.3 million in 22. Where the fuck are the watches at?
Right.
Every index is telling you that watches are down, including the stock market index itself.
I saw a GMT Sprite the other day for 17 flat.
That's crazy.
I'm like, damn, that shit's super down. It was just at like 21.
Yeah.
And remember, it was at 40.
Yeah.
Came down to like 33. Then you've seen them for like 26, 21. Somebody had one on the Rolex joint on Facebook for 17 flat.
Yeah,
all the papers, crazy. Everything. I'm just like, damn, like it. I think the biggest thing for him, the frustration of seeing the watch get sold and then it's for sale down the street.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's just like, come on, yo. Like, so it's definitely a lot more people checking out.
Yeah.
Like, definitely on the tapping out. I'm rather.
And people are just going to other watch manufacturers. There's still Zenith. There's still Omega. There's still Tag is making a push now with a Monaco collection again and all of that shit. Like, there's other fucking options, other stuff that you can get, like, with much more ease. Yeah. Like, it's too much mental. Too many mental gymnastics.
We went in the Omega store a couple weeks ago at the mall because I was showing her the shit I like. I like the Speedmaster. And it's crazy because every case had watches in it.
Yeah, every last one.
They had all the Speedies. They had the Seamasters. They had all that shit. They had the joint with the Snoopy on it.
Yeah.
The 007. They had all that shit. And it's just like, yo, this shit is readily available. And I'm like, you go across the hall to the Rolex and it's just like, what's up? Like, ain't shit poppin', what's good with you? I'm lying. They had like a couple, like, they had like the 31 or the 34 millimeter, couple of those.
Yeah, or they might have a fucking 34 millimeter Pearl Master that costs 92,000, like some dumb shit like that. But it's like, yo, the stuff that we want, we still haven't reached the point where we can get it. In my estimation, we'll be closer to that point by next summer, but I don't fucking know. Like, this shit is wholly unpredictable. You don't know.
Yeah, just walking in and buying a watch is it just, you wouldn't even think it's that difficult. And even one of the other Jones I read on the forum was like, I think it's disgusting that we even got to the point of, because there's a thing on there whenever somebody gets a watch, they post it and the hashtag is I got the call. Like when the AD, and he's like, I can't even believe that we got to that point where it's like the AD call you and you proud, you happy. It's just like, yo, what the fuck? Like,
shit is stupid.
It's just dumb, man.
Shit is stupid.
Straight up.
There's got to be a better way to do this shit. That's all we got for this week, man. We appreciate y'all watching. If y'all watching this on YouTube, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, like this video, share it. If y'all listening on RSS feed, we definitely appreciate y'all the most. Make sure y'all go leave a review on whatever RSS index y'all listening to, whether it be Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, whatever the case may be, wherever you get your podcast at. Make sure y'all leave a review so we can keep getting them reviews up. Leave a 5-star review for your favorite podcast, man. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. TRPE weekend is fastly approaching us, only 4 weeks away. Saturday, August 26th, our live show with Mona, Don't Call Me White Girl. That same night, we have our network signing party at Reserve Now. Might be getting moved to another location. Celebrity guest announcement coming soon for that. And then Sunday, we got our TRP Nation brunch. 150 select people will be there, along with some different influencers, media people, and stuff like that from the city. Will be attending that event, catered by Laura Appetit, one of the premier catering companies in the country, currently working with Polo G, Fred VanVleet, bunch of NBA clients, stuff like that. So that's it, man. Go to officialtrpe.com. That's officialtrpe.com. Grab y'all tickets to that for all 3 events, man. We look forward to seeing y'all. We will be back next week, next Monday, with some more content, more hot topics, and potentially some guests. Who knows?
Yeah, straight up. We out.
Peace.
Peace.